Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 5th. And get through the holiday.
Yeah.
I turn my other thing off here. Good morning. Mario, you're early this morning. Ginger Overstreet. Nikki's here with me, but she's fishing.
Just sitting down by the.
You're a little glitchy, but you're still there.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Maybe.
I know you don't have super great internet where you're at. You got your bobber on?
No, I don't bobber fish.
Oh.
I just watch for my pole to go.
You're at your day job, Mary. Oh, man, we had this conversation yesterday. And then I had it again last night with my brother-in-law. Telling him sometimes it's just like, I don't want to go to work. So I know exactly how you feel. You have other plans that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of things going through my head right now. I really want to do the RVing thing, but I really want to I really want to sell on the road also. I think that would be like my ultimate dream. Because I'm not one, even if I won $1 million in the lottery or won however much, and I would be like, rich or whatever, I still think I would sell. I think I still would dumpster dive, and I think I'd still go to thrift stores and stuff like that. I still think I would. I don't think I would change in that way. So
I don't think.
The only thing differently that I would probably do is buy a better, buy like a more expensive RV or something to live in. But I still would probably boondock and go places where, they have free camping and, that way because I think you get better spots that way. I've seen a lot of videos nowadays, and it seems like they, when they boondock, it's almost like they're getting better camping spots than people that have the paid camping. Because, in the paid camping, you're squished between, two other people or whatever, you don't have your room to, kind of have your privacy at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely think I would do that. I definitely think I would. I mean, this is becoming a goal of mine. It's almost come to that point to where I've done some research and, wrote some notes and stuff like that. And, about, RVing and traveling the country. And,
what does your husband think of it?
I don't know. I think he would do it. I don't think he would have a problem with it as long as he doesn't get bored. I think as long as he doesn't get bored. But see, I can't see being bored. As far as, camping and stuff like that, you're always busy. You're always, doing something, and, you could play games and, he likes to play cards and stuff like that. You could play cards and and stuff. The only thing is he's so um, he's relying on the internet and stuff like that, and I am too. That's the only thing. I probably would well, and if I'm selling, I'll probably have to get like a hotspot or something, to work off of. But I totally want to do that. This is becoming such a dream of mine. Mary says, have you ever taken a break from eBay and how did you do it? No, I haven't yet. I know Nikki did. That's what she said. She had been taking a break the last couple of months. Good morning, everybody out there. It's come in the last couple of minutes. You're muted, Nikki.
I'm chatting away.
I thought so. I seen your mouth moving.
Silent movies. Anyways, I took a break for a couple of months on eBay. I thought I was going to go back to work today, but I had worms left, so I figured I better fish. So maybe I'll start working tomorrow. Depends on
so she doesn't know the whole story about how you took all your items out of your store.
Yeah, I kind of did it in an extreme way. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I deleted all my items. Well, didn't delete them, but I ended all my items. I had over 2,000 items in both my stores and took them all down, and I've been taking a break ever since. I've been dabbling a little bit. I've got like 30 items up for 40.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just kind of taking a break.
Yeah.
I was just starting to get burnt out.
Okay. Yeah, if you're getting burned out, if you're doing this business full force and you're selling good and everything and you can afford to do it, it's okay to take a break. It's okay
I made a lot of money last year, so I was able to do that.
Yeah. And if you're able to do it, and see, this is the thing, like what we do, and so we don't want to get burned out and disgusted with what we do. So it's kind of a secret to kind of take your time, and if you are having problems with getting burned out and stuff, then put your store on vacation or do something to where you can take a break, because you don't want to get fed up with it. And there's a lot of people that they will get into this business and they'll start selling really good and everything, and they get burned out, and then they're like, well, I'm burned out with this, burned out. I could be burned out with a a regular job, and they go back to their regular job. Sometimes people can't handle it. And this business is harder than a regular job. It's not easier.
No.
Because it runs on self-motivation.
You're always working.
Yeah.
But it's in my case, I love selling on eBay.
I do too.
I love being able to just come out here and go fishing whenever I want or do whatever I want.
Yeah.
We went out to New York and Pennsylvania, and I was able to just go and do that. Everybody else was worried. Oh God, I got to get back. I got to take vacation. Blah blah blah. That my husband at the last minute wanted to go down to Texas to buy a truck. I was able to go with him. If I had a job, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right. Definitely. I mean, I have to give my boss notice, ample notice when, I want to take any time off. So yeah, it's harder. I mean, it's harder when you have a regular job and you have to, do that. And you know, give your boss notice and stuff if you want to take time off. So, you know, if you are selling full time on eBay and you feel like you've got to take a break, then take a break. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I got a fish on. I'll be right there.
All right. She got a fish.
Oh, I got a nice. Oh, I got a catfish. Yuck.
Ah. All right. Let's see it.
I hate catfish.
Oh, you don't like catfish? I like catfish.
Yuck. Yuck. I hate catfish.
She showed it. She'll show it a little bit better, I'm sure. There you go.
Just a little
There's
guy.
a catfish. Yeah, he is. Good morning, Tim.
He ate my worm too, the bastard.
He ate your worm, huh? Yeah, so I mean, there's pros and cons to this business because it's, you know, like I said, self-motivation is a big key.
Yeah.
She won't eat it, Tim. She says they're yucky.
I hate catfish. He's just a little guy anyways. He's got to go back in.
Yeah.
He's not that big. I'll be right there.
Okay. So we went to my brother and sister-in-law's last night, and I ended up passing out in the living room under the air conditioner because I hadn't slept any, and so I got my hair cut off. It's short now. And they bought about $150 worth of fireworks, so we stayed for fireworks and all that good stuff. We had a barbecue.
I had to get him back in before he died. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Morning, Turtle Trader. Grandma Magic Classic says we went magnet fishing Saturday. We only caught bottle caps and spark plugs.
Trying to get some of those. Ow! Trying to get some of those steelheads. I pinched myself.
Owie.
Oh, my husband just got me one of these little Gerber tools, and I just pinched myself with it.
Probably because I have Nikki highlighted. It should work now. Grandma Magic Classic says, how come it's not going back to you when talking, Sally?
Sorry.
Yeah, she wants to find a safe. Yeah, that'd be nice.
A safe?
Yeah, like a safe full of money or something.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Uh-huh.
Suppose my husband ain't gonna appreciate worm guts all over his new truck.
Oh gosh. Morning, Tiffany. She said people find knives, guns, and safes. Wow. Yeah, I thought about getting me a metal detector because I live around water, and you know, there's a bunch of beaches I could walk around and probably find stuff.
Oh, I think a metal detector would be so much fun. I've always wanted one of those.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, especially if you're traveling. I mean, that would be awesome. See, to me, like I'm thinking about this now and now I can't get it out of my head. It's like, something that I want to do really badly now. And so everything that I think about it, it has to do with that. Like the metal detector thing. I think, I could walk along, wherever I'm at and with the metal detector and find all kinds of different things probably. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, I got my hair chopped off yesterday and it feels so much nicer. I was up to here with, had it up to there with my hair being long. It gets so thick and it gets really heavy on my head, makes me have headaches and stuff. So yeah, it's just not good for me to grow my hair out. And I try it. It seems like I try it every summer and it never works out for me and I should know better. Good morning, Beth. Tim says my stepfather had an old safe, had not been opened for 20 years, forgot the number and what was in it. Said if I could open it, I could have guns and coins. Cha-ching. Well, what was in it?
Oh, there's a lot of flies here.
Is there lots of mosquitoes?
A lot of flies.
Oh.
People come down here and fish, and kind of vagrants come down here and they leave food and stuff down here. It's gross.
Oh.
Sometimes. But it's a really good walleye hole.
Cool. I like walleye. You like walleye?
I love walleye. That's usually my choice of fishing is walleye. That's why I come down here. I can just sit in here, down here in my car, and fish right alongside the river. It's beautiful. I should show you. Here.
Are you there? All right.
Yeah, I'm just show you how beautiful it is here. Oh, my finger's in the way. There you
go. Oh, yeah.
See how beautiful it is?
Yeah, it is.
And
is it warm there today?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was a little cool this morning. We had a thunderstorm. Now, see right over where that tree is? That's where the best walleye hole is. But I thought I probably wouldn't get good service over there, so I'm trying over here for now.
Yeah. So maybe you could just throw your line over that way.
Yeah, it's too far away to watch. But yeah, it's just gorgeous just sitting out here. Even if I don't fish, even if I don't catch anything, it's just gorgeous just sitting here.
Yeah.
You see all the garbage on the ground here. People have fires. See all the garbage?
Yeah.
That's probably why there's a lot of flies around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good walleye spot. So I come down here. My husband's like, why don't you just go take the boat out? And I'm like, it's trouble. I can just grab my pole, grab my lures, and just come down here and fish. I don't have to worry about backing the trailer into the water and doing all that crap. I can just come down here. I can carry my pole with me and just stop anytime I feel like fishing,
Right. Tim said guns and coins is what was in the safe. And Tim said he was a hoarder. Thank you, Turtle Trader. I had to get it cut off. It feels so much better being in the, I mean, it's not been really hot that this year. I mean, we've had a couple of days that was, terrible for me because it was, I don't have air conditioning in my house. All I have is a bunch of fans, and that's what we do. But um, just a couple of days this year so far like that. So, but just having the hair on my neck, I couldn't stand it anymore. So, Turtle Trader says, "Hello, Fisherwoman at Popular Picker." So, I'm wondering what would be a good thing to sell when you're traveling. So if you have a minimal amount of space.
Have you ever watched Dorky Thrifters?
No, I have not watched them.
Yeah, you should watch Dorky Thrifters. It's a woman. She has a couple kids. She had a husband, but he passed away.
Oh, right.
Right around the time Valerie's husband passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, I don't know, October or November or something. Anyways, she lives in an RV, and she sells out of it, and she sells things like glasses, eyeglasses, and that's her
Mm-hmm.
big, and things like Bibles and toys and stuff like that. I think she does have a storage shed too, so she can get bigger stuff if she needs to.
Yeah.
Or if she wants to, but I think she pretty much does the smaller stuff,
Right. Yeah. I thought about, well, what I really want to get is a conversion van. And or conversion camp van, or whatever you want to call it. It's a van that has been converted into a camper. That's what looks like the best thing to me. And then probably we'll get a small toy trailer to haul behind it.
What's your question, Tim?
A shoe question, huh?
Oh, that'd be up to Sally probably.
I know a little bit about shoes, not a whole bunch, but I sell some. Grandma Magic Classic said she found some POW stickers and change in a few Matchbox cars. That's cool. Comfortable Life says, yeah, metal detecting is awesome. I got into it back in the 60s, became one of the big names of the industry, but had to give it up because of health. Got lots of old books and accessories left. Well, that's great.
Oh.
That's neat. Beth said, we are making plans to convert a bus into a home, so when hubby retires, we can travel and live off the grid if we desire. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it just sounds freeing, especially when you do this kind of work. And the situation that I've been in lately, I have a lot of inventory. Most of it is very unorganized. I'm telling the truth here, speaking the truth. It's unorganized because I just don't have enough time in the day to, and I need to make time, but I need to take some time off from my full-time job and try to get all of this organized. I mean, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that, time is just not allowing it. And so, you know,
Mhm.
I think if you, you know, if you live that kind of life and you know the RV and stuff, you're minimalist. You know take what you have to have, and that's all you can fit into your you know your space into your home.
Mhm.
And so to me, it would be kind of freeing in that way. Tim says, when buying female shoes, how important is the bottom of the shoe? Um, I would say that, I mean, it depends on what kind of condition it's in. If it's like scratched up and stuff, then that's fine
Mhm.
because a lot of people do not like, they'll actually go and buy shoes that are scratched up on the bottom, marked on the bottom because it helps um it helps them, you know, from slipping around. It, you know, provides traction a little bit better than buying a new pair of shoes. Um, so a lot of people won't care the condition of the bottom of the shoe, but it's the inside, the insole, which you know, people want to like, you know, if there's any holes or anything like that, they usually won't care for them.
Yeah.
But it just
That'd
depends
be pretty
on.
decent. I mean, as far as like, are they like dress shoes? I mean, like dress shoes, if they're scratched up on the bottom, I wouldn't imagine they're that bad. But
He says you can get Prada for $10, but the bottom is scuffed.
Mhm.
You need to make sure that you watch videos and maybe even look on a couple of Facebook groups to look up Prada because there are so many fakes. And that's the one thing that you'll have problems with a big brand name like that is that there's so many fakes. And so you need to go and look at all of the telling signs of, you know, that if it's fake, if it's real, and look at that before you actually buy them, or you might be losing money anyways.
Me
Um,
personally, I stay away from that kind of stuff
yeah, I
just
mean,
because it's so fake.
you can find you know the originals. You can find you know stuff that's not fake, but the chance of it being fake is more than the chance of it being real in some cases like that. And sometimes it's not worth it. Frankie's Fine says Tina, the soul advisor, is good with shoes. I'm I'm wondering if they're on Facebook. Tina, the soul advisor. Um, Grandma Magic Classic says one thing we will be doing when we get settled is set up solar panels and such so that life will be cheaper when we retire and stuff. She says we already save rainwater for our plants and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, there's the solar panels are a good thing, especially when you're you know living in you know doing free camping and stuff. It you know keeps your batteries charged up. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that provide information for free on that. You know how to hook them up yourself. You know, I've seen videos that say you don't need any prior experience or anything like that. You know, whenever you're doing this, it's you know pretty basic. So, oh, Frankie's Fine says Tino is on YouTube, so I would go look up them, Tim, and see if you can get some information that way. He says I was looking at shoes on eBay. Even they have been slow now. Not a lot of items are just way overstocked because too many people are loading up on shoes and clothing. Um, yeah, you just still have to be really careful.
To me personally, I think clothing's kind of a rough market right now because
It
there's
is.
so many people doing it right now.
Yeah, it is a rough market, and you know, there's a there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people that don't have
Because they're watching Lindy Glenn and they're watching Nicole State and they're watching these people and they're in soft sales and they're seeing, oh, this is a get rich quick, thing.
yeah, and it's not that way at all.
It's not. They're just making it look good,
Yeah. 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 Selling clothing is hard. It's hard to actually sell it because once you get it listed and everything, there's so much stuff that people have to choose from, within the
There's a lot
different
of
sellers.
returns in that. There's a lot of returns in that category too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really worry about the returns because, I mean, I do the same thing whenever I go buy something at Walmart, which has been forever ago. But, if I'm not happy with it, I'm going to return it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear something that, I paid money for that I'm not happy with. I have a certain kind of style, and I like clothes to fit me a certain way. And if they don't fit right, or if I see that they have issues, I'll take them back. I'm not going to pay money for clothes that I'm not going to wear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of videos, a lot of good ideas about living off the grid and traveling, boondocking. A lot of good stuff on that. I've been watching videos like almost nonstop while I list and stuff like that, just so I can get more information.
Oh, we got a fish on again.
You got another fish?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Is it the same catfish? Trying to eat your worm again? Oh, wee.
This is a
What is that? I didn't see it that well.
Little bullhead.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He'll go back.
That's entertaining, Nikki. Huh? I said that's entertaining.
That was a little bullhead. I don't eat bullheads either.
I don't think I've ever even tried that.
Yeah, my hands he fell in the mud. My hands are all muddy. Yeah, just call me Babe Winkleman. Fishing show with Nikki.
Yeah.
I don't know where all the walleye are
at. Hey, Alan Cash says, professor, I guess, actually preaches how difficult selling can be. His channel's focus is more the nuts and bolts of selling and work ethic. Maybe I missed something up higher. I don't see anything. But yeah, I mean, it's all about self-motivation and because you're your own boss, so you're gonna put the work into it that you're gonna get out of it, that you want out of it, so. And this is the thing with me, it's like, I know what it takes. I know that it's going to take a lot of work to get where I want to be as far as, doing this full time and also the traveling thing. That's to me is getting to be, a goal and a mindset that I'm trying to have, and I want to work towards that. And it's going to happen. I already know it's going to happen. It's just a win kind of thing. So.
And you said your husband's okay with the traveling thing?
I think so, as long as he doesn't get bored. Which, camping out, and that it's a lot of work, to do that kind of stuff. Setting up camps, and because of course when if you live in a van or whatever, you want to put out a tent or something if you get to a place where you're going to stay a few days. And they have places where you could stay for 14 days for free.
Yeah.
So if you were to do that, you would actually probably set up camp, in a place like that, instead of just, taking one thing out at a time, or, just living completely in the van. You'd probably take out things, set up a camp and stay a while. But, and that's a lot of work and everything. And I think that, with that, it would give him something to do. But he's one of them that likes to play his games and, stuff like that. And that's how he keeps himself busy. And I'm just afraid that, the technology part might keep him from wanting to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he can play his game,
Yeah.
He's just gotta.
I mean, he could take it with him. It's just, it's going to be a thing of, whenever you have like a mobile hotspot or something, it's limited, I'm sure. Well, I've never had one before, but
through cell phone services, though, you should be able to get something. And most campgrounds and stuff have Wi-Fi, I'm sure.
Yeah.
These days.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't really want to camp where you have to pay.
Yeah, that's true.
And that will be my main focus, is camping in places where I don't have to pay.
Yeah. That's true.
Which is, either in a parking lot or on the street, or
well, just get someone for good Wi-Fi.
On an old dirt road,
Just drive around the neighborhoods till you find some good Wi-Fi.
Okay, we're parking there. Signal's good.
Yeah, sometimes, when I'm out in my car and I'm just hanging out, I do that sometimes. Or I used to when my tablet didn't have internet. Now my tablet has internet, but yeah, I do that.
Grandma Magic Classic says, I got to kick all this in high gear to get these bills paid off. Been thinking about PayPal loan to pay off the credit cards and daughter's student loan, because the interest would be better, I think. I don't know. Silver Hair Stacker says, man, I sold 5 things yesterday, averaged $10 each. I got to up my buying. These smalls are driving me nuts.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's all going to sell at the time,
Mm-hmm. A lot of campgrounds have Dish, Turtle Trader. I didn't know that. I'm not too much on TV. I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch some Hulu and Netflix, you know, but of course you want to limit your, you know, all your bills and stuff whenever you're doing stuff like this. So might have just one, you know, one extra thing just so you can get a little bit of a taste of the drama.
Yeah, some you might want to look because sometimes like satellite too you can get. I think they
I'm
have
sorry, you broke up. What'd you
satellite.
say? Um,
Satellite has
yeah,
some good internet too sometimes.
yeah,
You know, for mobile.
yeah. That's what Turtle Trader said. He says a lot of the campgrounds have Dish, so I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. Um, yeah. Todd says, yeah, I actually don't look for smalls, but when I get in a storage unit, there are usually dozens of them. Yeah. Um, Comfortable Life says state parks are usually cheap camping. Federal parks are expensive unless you qualify for free services. National forests, not state parks, but national forests are free unless they say, you know, unless it's a campground where, you know, it says that you know, you can pay a certain amount to stay here. Um, they're free. So, in public land. Mr. Sadie asked where I'm gonna keep my inventory. Am I gonna pull a trailer? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a converted van, and I would pull like a very small trailer, very small trailer. So that's why I was thinking about inventory, but I think a lot of things are gonna change between now and then as far as you know, what I would want to sell. So I'll just have to figure it out. Hi, Eric.
Hello. You talking about life on the road?
Yeah, I am.
You want to like a toy hauler?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, the RV that has a little warehouse space in the back bottom part of it. You can store all your inventory in totes.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want it in the same spot. I think I totally want to do like a toy hauler.
That's what I'm saying.
And yeah. And just have my inventory there, not anywhere else.
That's what I'm saying. The toy hauler has that like that warehouse where you would normally park like a you know whatever your toy is, four-wheeler or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a nice little open space. It's not huge, but it's usually like under the back bedroom, and then you can, like I said, you put your inventory in totes. It's a fairly
Mhm.
safe, bug-free, fairly conditioned space. Not perfect, but
Right.
I would love a toy hauler.
if you did something like that, that's to me that's the only real viable option for living on the road and working this type of work. If you want to do an RV and live on the road to be an FBA reseller, that's a viable option then.
Mhm.
You're constantly driving for searching for inventory anyway, and this way you're not shelling out money for hotels or stuff like that. You could actually do both. You could do an eBay and FBA inventory system at that point.
Right.
But you eventually get tired of being on the road. Believe me, I've lived on the road.
I don't think I would get tired of it.
You do.
I really want to see. I have a lot of stuff that I want to see, a lot of places I want to go. You know, and I just don't.
I'd like to go see Seattle. I like to go to Key West. And that's about it. Seen everything else I want to see.
No, I haven't. I mean, I've lived in like what, 5 different states, but I've not seen near enough. There's still a lot that I want to see.
Yeah, you could definitely do the smalls, but the smalls don't pay the bills.
Yeah, that's true.
Chat. You can sell out small. I mean, you have to sell a volume or high quality smalls, but
Yeah.
you need quantity then. I mean, you need to be selling, 5 items a day. But I mean, Silver Hair Sacker says, you get tired of it. Or Mr. Say says you can get tired of it, you can always rent or buy another house. I mean, that's the nice thing, I guess, if you could drive around long enough to where you find out where you really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an option then.
Yeah. And, things change and, people change. So, I mean, it definitely can happen.
Well, and that's the thing with Dorky Thrifters. She sells a lot of high-end eyeglasses.
Uh-huh.
A lot of $50 pairs of glasses, $30 to $50 is usually her price point.
But you got to be in a market where you can get those at a decent price.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's got the marker. She's got the perfect business going. And she sells other stuff too, but that's her main thing she sells. There's a lot of work that goes into that too. She fixes them and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Sure.
I gotta go get some coffee and make a bathroom run. I'll be back.
She finds other stuff to sell too, but yeah, that's her main gig.
Dog just
I'm
forced
fishing.
a slice of orange.
I'm fishing this morning, Eric.
Okay. Is the pole in your hand or is it in a bank holder?
It's in a bank holder.
Ah.
I'm sitting here watching it. I've caught 2 fish. I threw them back, but one was a catfish, and I don't like catfish, and the other was a bullhead. And I don't like bullhead, so I had to put a floaty on to catch my walleye.
How deep are you fishing the walleye?
I don't know how deep it is here in the river.
How far off the
Well,
do you have like a bouncing bait on it where it's got the little rod that kind of keeps the bait about 18 inches above the floor?
Yeah, I have the floaty, the Lindy rig, with the weight and the floaty.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering. So
It's a good river for walleye, but I'm afraid to go over where the walleye hole is because I don't think I'll have service over there. I'm trying out a new spot. I mean, I have a spot over by the trees, in the trees over there, that I catch walleye nonstop over there. But I'm just trying a new spot while we're on the show because I don't think I'll have service over there. So I had to move my weight because I was getting catfish and bullheads. So
anytime you fish for walleye, you get bullhead a lot, and then
yeah, my bait was down too far.
Yeah, the catfish are too far. Your bait's hanging too low. You got to be about 18 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
To get good walleye. But I used to fish for walleye on Lake Erie.
Yeah.
But
I'm just sitting here along the river. So my husband was going fishing this morning. He's like, "Why don't you take the boat out?" I said, "It's just nice to just sit here by the river."
And see, that's one thing I don't like to fish from a bank.
Yeah, I like it. I catch a lot of walleye here, so I don't have to mess with the boat. I can sit
Yeah, I
here.
mean, getting the boat out, I mean, that's a pain in the ass. Quite frankly, getting the boat out of the water and doing all that. I mean, because I had boats before, and it's it's a production then, as opposed to just grabbing your pole and going.
Yeah.
Now, I like fishing from a dock where I can get out, if I can get out, 8, 7, 8, 10 feet, then
Yeah.
I'm a lot more comfortable than I just don't like fishing from a bank.
And I could go over to the Duluth side of the St. Louis River, and there's a nice dock over there to fish off of, and I catch a lot of walleye over there. But I like this spot. It's just nice and quiet. It's down here away from the road. It's just
Did your
gorgeous.
husband know you took his new truck out to go fishing in?
That's why I took the truck. I told him, I said, well, I'm taking the truck this morning to fish. I took my little great nephew yesterday fishing, and we didn't get a chance to do too much fishing, so I ended up with a lot of worms left over. So I'm like, well, I guess I gotta go fishing today. Don't want to waste those worms.
My grandma used to love eating bullheads. Nobody else ate them but her. But when you clean them, you got to skin them. So my uncle would take a pair of pliers, cut it, and then he'd pull the hide off of them.
Yeah.
I know I'm for red meated fish.
I like perch and walleye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very related to each other. So yeah, they taste very similar.
Do you have the little?
Up on Lake Vermilion, sometimes we rent a houseboat up on Lake Vermilion, and in northern Minnesota, and and they have these wonderful jumbo perch. Oh my God, they're so yummy. But now it's getting a little hot for fishing.
Do you clean fish, Nikki? Do you clean your own fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't clean fish. So any fish I catch now automatically gets thrown back because I won't clean fish.
Ooh, Nikki. Your husband is a lucky man.
My dad always told me if I wanted to fish, I had to clean my own fish.
No, I always had my uncle clean my fish.
Yeah, I dated a lot of girls who told me they knew how to clean fish, but they didn't know how to clean fish. At least if they did, they didn't want to clean fish.
It's a man job.
Nobody
most of the
wants
time,
to clean a fish,
my
but
husband-
you got to clean it. I mean,
My husband's really good at filleting, so usually he just fillets them though.
yeah, the
I'm
walleye is
not-
really good for filleting. So
I'm not that good at filleting, so yeah, I would actually have to clean the fish.
Do you cut the cheeks out of the walleye if you get bigger ones? Did you ever do that? They got like real meaty cheeks here, and if you cut them out, they'll be like the size of like a little bigger than a quarter. They're really good, like if you fry them up with your fillets or whatever.
Huh.
But they gotta be a bigger walleye.
Yeah.
Nikki's like gross.
Oh,
Don't we cut out the eyeballs? Then
We
fry
never
up
cut.
the
We
fish
never ate
teeth.
eyes. We never ate eyes. We have used eyes as bait, but we've never ate them.
yeah.
all I know is take your fish out, nail them, cut the heads off, nail them on a board, let them dry out, and they'll still sell. I sold every one of,
See that
I
too
sold
much
every one of those
anymore.
old dried up fish head boards I had. So
No, they used to do that a lot with muskies, and then they flare the gills way out when they tack them up. Marvin
Yeah.
had a couple, or he tried to do a couple, and they didn't work out right.
Ugh.
But if you look at like old time cabins, you see a lot of like those fish heads with the flared out. They're ugly.
I had 6 boards that had between 1 and 3 of them on there, and I sold every single one of those for about $30 a board.
Yeah, yeah. Taxidermy does do good.
No accounting for taste.
What's crazy is I sold them to just 2 people. I mean, I had 2 people competing for all of them, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. I said I wanted them out of my house, but I mean, I only paid like $4 for the whole box, so I made like $180 off of it.
I usually like even ugly taxidermy up here. It's hard for me to get just because I got so many people that want to throw it up in their cabin or whatever.
There's a lifestyle change in I would say that with reselling, there is a change to your lifestyle. Now, anything I look at something I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Who would have paid money for this? And I'm just about to toss it in the bin, and then all of a sudden I just hesitate for a second. I just better go on eBay and check. And I'll tell you, 5 times out of 10, it's like, oh my God, I had no idea people were paying this much for this kind of crap.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. A lot of times it's just crap. But again, it's so bad that they can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, you got to check before you toss. It becomes second nature. And the other thing, when you guys, we weren't on yet, but somebody was talking about Lindy Glenn and get rich quick. With reselling, you don't get rich quick. I mean, we pay our bills, but I mean, I would not call us Actually, though, I mean, now I'm doing better than I did when I was in real estate, to be honest. But you get your bills paid. I mean, you'll be able to survive on it if you do it, if you work at it and you do it full time. You'll be able to pay your bills and manage. But another thing is, your cost of living drops because everything you buy costs less than what your neighbor's paying for it, because you're always putting yourself in a position where you can buy stuff for less than other people can buy it for. And I think that's a big advantage. I mean, if you can get your expenses down, that's going to increase your wealth.
I must have missed the whole get rich quick section of the videos.
I didn't hear it either. You must.
Oh, I heard it when they were talking about people. They were talking about Sally and Nikki were talking about clothing sales, and she was saying that people get into this. They're flooding the market with clothing, and they're trying to get rich quick on clothing, and that's not the way it works. And I agree, it's not a get rich quick system, but actually, there's a side effect where you do lower your personal expenses.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think about, I mean, when's the last time a really dedicated reseller bought a brand new car?
Yeah.
It just your mind, the back of your head, you go, I can't afford. I just can't make myself pay retail.
It's principle.
Buy a program car that's a couple years old or a year old or something like that, and you save yourself $7,000 or $8,000. I mean, that is really the best side effect of doing this type of work. You realize that crap isn't really worth what people want to charge for it, and you can always find it cheaper somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it becomes an emotional thing. Even if you have the money to easily do it, we bought a $30 life jacket for my kid at Walmart. And I mean, $30 is not outrageous. And it was a nice life jacket, but I mean, I just choked on it because I'm like, oh my God, I see these at auctions all the time for $2.50 or $5. And here I am paying $30. I'm now the sucker, you know?
Sorry, kid, you don't get a nice new life-saving device. I'm gonna give you that old battered up ratted one over there. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, sun faded and it'll rip if you look at it the wrong way. Oh, that's a nice leg shot.
Oh, the dog.
No, Nikki, she's showing the leg.
Oh, leg. I thought you said leg.
You said leg, and I'm like, what are you doing
what?
Legs for? I mean,
I'm feeling some leg.
Clean fish and nice legs too.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think there's anything such as a get rich quick scheme out there anymore. I mean, it's if you get rich doing this work, you worked your ass off. Be happy. I mean, you busted your butt to get up there. I mean, I said,
be proud of yourself.
I got no problem with the Lending Lens of the world or anybody else. I mean, because if they're working hard, that's fine. They have different methods, which is fine with me. I really don't care. I said I don't really watch other people's videos, so if you can figure out a way to make a living off of making videos, great. You make it off of reselling, great. I mean, if you make a living at a lemonade stand, I don't care.
No. Well, my brother works at a bank. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's one of the, whatever you become.
He's vice president.
Yeah, they give you a vice president, but there's like 80 or 150 presidents or whatever. But anyway, I mean, he lives comfortably. His wife is a teacher who's now well established. I mean, she's been doing it for like 8 years or whatever. So they're pretty well set. But sometimes he'll be like, oh yeah, I just couldn't buy that because I couldn't afford it. I'd be like, oh man, I can get you those so much cheaper than that,
Well,
and because he just does not have the time to source like we do, he just isn't able to put himself in a position where he can get good deals.
Tell him the Brinkman Grill story.
This is a good story on how people think differently. I'm at a cookout at his house, and he's got some of his friends over.
Suburbia,
and they're talking about this Brinkman Grill, and I said, well, one guy says, oh yeah, I bought mine, I got the Brinkman, whatever. They're talking model numbers, and then I go, well, I saw this Brinkman on clearance, I almost snapped it up, and they're like, oh, well, I don't buy clearance grill. It wasn't my brother, but it was one of his friends. I don't buy clearance stuff. I pay full price. Like it's wrong, because what they're doing is it's
like how much we pay for stuff.
Yeah, it's a weenie measuring contest. Yeah. So that's what they're going around. They're bragging about how much they paid for it, not how much it's worth, which I thought was. I'm like, wow, you're a polar opposite of my way of thinking, brother.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, when you'll find that people who have those type of jobs often have they have trouble paying their bills because they have to meet a certain lifestyle standard that's set by everybody else around them.
Yeah.
They've got to have the newer car. They've got to have the bigger house. They've got, and if they don't have that stuff, they're actually looked down upon. And it will hurt you career wise.
Yes.
Yes,
I mean,
his brother has to have a new vehicle every 3 years.
Because he says if somebody walks out with me to the parking lot and they see me getting a car that's old, and in his opinion, 5 years old is old, they're going to laugh at me. And he goes, I'll be passed over for promotions. I think he's right. And that in his circle. I'm glad I'm not in that circle.
Yeah, the only option he would have would be to have to drive an old classic. Because then he's a connoisseur. He's not a,
He's too anal to drive an old classic because his cars have to be totally perfect, totally all the time. He's super anal. He has to buy them new.
Yeah, if he goes over a big bump and the car makes a weird squeak or something one time, he's got to have it in the shop looked at.
I mean, he's like,
he is definitely he's your new car buyer because he just has to have a warranty because he's got that thing at the dealership every other week.
Yeah, wow. That's a crazy life.
And that's why he bought Dodges because their warranties are really good. He said they're shitty cars, but he has a Dodge 3/4-ton truck and his wife has a Dodge minivan. They're shitty. He goes, but the warranty's so good, I can take it in all the time to have it looked at then. So there's a selling point for Dodge.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like it's a working to make other people happy kind of thing.
Well, that's sometimes the way it is.
Yeah, it's totally keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Tim comments says, how can you say you have $1,000 haul before it sells when you're only guessing it can sit for months or years and that's not true sales? Well, that's actually true. I mean, when I give out what I think it's worth, that's what I think I'm going to get out of it. There's no guarantees. I don't go around bragging that I've got $10,000 worth of inventory in my house. I got $1,000 that I paid for it. Whatever it sells for, it sells for. I mean, that's the way I always look at it.
But there'll be something in that haul that will sell for way more than you anticipated for that fell your radar or whatever, and will sell for way more than what you anticipated.
And if you really run the solds, not the asking, but run the solds, and so you got to run the asking too, because sometimes the asking will be the sold may have sold when the item was worth more, and sometimes the asking. If some guy's only asking 20, that's really the top of what it's worth. So you got to look at both. Even though the last one sold for 40, if you got a guy out there for 20, right now 20 is all you're going to get. But anyway, when we give out those, at least in our videos, when you give out the haul and you say, well, this is what I think it's worth. I mean, we've looked at solds. I mean, we may be a little off. I mean, we may not be correct to that day, but we got a pretty good gut feeling. I mean, from looking at solds, this is what it's worth. We're pretty sure. I mean, we're not off very often. And like that blacksmith forge we just flipped. Tara knew when she bought it, she said that's going to be about a $400 forge, and she was right. I mean, she was within $20.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I run sales, I run special promotions. I mean, so I knock my prices down a little bit more, and I'm not sure I'm doing that when I'm actually saying this is what I've got for something. That's just you just have to kind of put an estimate out there, and that's why of all the videos on YouTube, I like the best. I like the what it sold for videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think those, as long as they're honest about what they paid for it when they're telling you how much they sold it for, then you get a good idea of really what kind of profit margin is in certain items. If you sit there and hold up a T-shirt that you sold for $9.99, you paid $1 for. I don't care where you're coming from. That's good profit. It's not great. It's not like you're going to live off of that, but you're going to make $6 or $7 off a T-shirt that you sold for $10.
Do they do those videos before they ship? Is that how they do it? Like they do the video quickly?
Or where they're
you go back and pull up your eBay solds and you just go to your orders and just open up the last 50 tabs of individual items and you kind of put them on your screen.
Yeah.
And then you go through and say you use like Screencast-O-Matic and that'll actually put you down on the bottom of the screen and you just talk about what the item was, how much you paid for it, and this is what it sold for.
Yeah, so
they're really easy to make, and I've thought about making them, but I'm not a video maker. I'm not a video viewer, so
yeah, that sounds like time consuming.
There we are.
Maybe I should do one of those videos.
Yeah, it would never hurt. I mean, those are the fun videos because, like I said, you get an idea of what stuff's really selling for them. I mean, it's one thing to have, a YouTuber, and again, I'm not bagging on anybody, but to go to the bins and pull up and say, here's my $50 bins buy, and they show 75 shirts, and they say, I think it's worth $1,000. Okay, then a month later, they show up 25 of those shirts that they found and said, yeah, this is what I got. I got $400 out of these 25 shirts. You know, I'm going to buy. Okay, you said you're going to get 1,000. You got 400 for that for the first batch. Okay, you're probably going to be about accurate on that, but that doesn't necessarily mean the rest are going to sell right away. You know, those are going to take some time to sell.
Yeah.
You know, just like anything else, I put something up, I have no idea when it's going to sell.
Right.
I really need to go through my inventory and say, crap, that thing's been up there for 2 years. Maybe it's time to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy. It's listed. Most it costs me is $0.10 a month or something if I go over on my listings.
We will have a financial bump in the road where we need to generate capital now. You know, it's like an emergency, like a big vet bill or something. We need money now. We need to do it. So we'll go to an auction. We'll go dig through our own stuff. We'll start grabbing things that are worth $2, $3, at least nothing under $100. I mean, because we'll flood our site or our store with this. And you know what? The stuff that saves us, the big thing that sells, it's like, oh, good, I'm so glad that big thing sold because that'll really help pay this bill, is always something we had listed like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never the stuff that we throw on, but that's what'll sell. You know, it's just weird. It's the stuff that we thought was going to get us out.
Yeah, but you probably reduce, because you'll go through and stuff that has high watchers, you'll start reducing the price by a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
every day or whatever. We don't run sales, but Jim will go through and adjust prices.
It always amazes me though that it's the thing that you listed like, I don't know, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. That's what pulls your butt out of the fire.
Why don't you run a sale on some things?
Jim, why don't you run a sale?
I just drop the price. I just go through and drop the price.
Yeah, but if you run the sale, you actually get a bump in listing as well.
He's saying
as opposed to just price dropping it, you actually get a bump in your search engine list.
We're usually pretty, but we have another account that I do a search on our stuff. We're usually pretty high in the search anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling unique items.
Just sell one-off items. We don't sell many things where there would be like multiples available, you know, where I'm competing against somebody with an identical item. That's pretty rare for us.
Well, it doesn't do best offer either.
No. Well, the reason I don't do best offer is I'm telling you I'm lying about my price. I'm telling you I think it's worth $100, but I don't really believe that. So give me a best offer, which to me is I guess if I'm haggling with somebody like an Arab trader, I guess I get that mentality. But otherwise, it's just this is why I think I've looked at what's worth. I'm going to knock off a little bit to get below competition, and here's the price. If somebody offers me, I won't take less. I might. You know, depending on how long it's been out there or whatever. But I don't generally, when I throw something brand new out there, why would I put best offer? Now, it works for other people, and I'm not telling anybody I got the right way or I got the magic bullet or anything, but just the way I do it.
End of story.
End of story. Now all the viewers are dropping. They're all like thumbs downing.
Stop it.
No,
that's the
my
thing I've ever heard.
This guy's an idiot.
My son was there. He wants to put headphones on the dog for when the tornado sirens testing goes off so he doesn't howl.
Oh.
How is that working?
I told him he can't do it because the headphones they're like shooting headphones. So I said, those are round enough for your ears. You need long and skinny ones for his ears. And he's upset about it right now. He does not like the dog to make any sound at all. Yeah. So now he's having a little bit of a meltdown over it.
Well, you can have him sing with the dog, and then you can embrace it.
I embrace it. I howl right with him. So, you know, I'm good with it, but it drives my son. My son, I'm being autistic. There's certain things that just will tip him over the edge, and the dog's barking too much, and that howl freaks him out and drives him nuts.
Yeah.
So, right now he's upstairs just bitching and moaning. Yeah, no, I was the one that I never did best offer, and then I decided, you know what, I just got to start getting it out there and doing that and changing my listing times to 10-day listings. You know, I probably doubled myself. Yeah, just it makes things move faster.
Yeah. And right now, on average, we usually do around $300 a day. So I guess maybe we're just kind of getting stuck in our own groove then. You know, where we don't do that stuff.
We do, yeah. We
About
don't do,
3.
We don't do 3 every day.
No, but I would say if you average out the month from if you average the month from your high days to your low days, you probably on average are about 250 to 3.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna go ask my brother where he's buying those new trucks. I need one.
Yeah, but you got cost of inventory in there.
I say, if you were to take your items, add 15%, and then put them on sale or do best offer, you know, you've got an additional 15% built into there. You know, you've got some room to work on stuff.
Yeah, and I usually don't add. I will say we don't add. I usually try to price it right on market or just a hair. Like if there's other listings that are, I price it just a hair below them. Like I have these electronic choke modules. I'm just a little bit below everybody else. I'm fast and I'm free, and I pretty much sell most of the electronic choke modules when you get runs of them or whatever, and they're $80 a pop, where everybody else is like $85 to $90 a piece. I put them right just a little bit below them, and I knock them off.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you got to account for the fact that you're going to be taking offers and putting things on sale when you actually list things initially.
Yeah. He must have had to go. He just dropped out of there. But I used to do that. I used to add 20% or 30% and then have a sale. And it became kind of a lot of work to do that because I had to think about it. You know, I had to think, okay,
sorry about that.
I have an extra 20 or 30% on here that I can mess with. You know, I could, you know, run a sale. I could accept a best offer. But then I started doing what?
Well, Beth C says in the comments, is raising prices to run a sale is not something I would do. I'm not talking about raising prices to run a sale. I'm talking about when you list your items initially, you know that you're going to be running sales and having best offer on. So you kind of build a little bit of that into your price. Now, if you're way over top of everybody else, that's not doing any good. But for me like if I see something that's selling consistently for $40, all right, I'm probably going to list it for $44.99 because I know I'm going to running a consistent sale of at least 10%, which is going to bring me right down to that number anyway. But I might go even a little higher. But I also have best offer in there too. So there's a little bit of psychology. Some people think that the cheapest item isn't the quality item.
Right.
So you have to kind of look at stuff like that as well. You have to think of, you know, it's all about perception and everything. It's the same that you hear these commercials on TV all the time, and you know, or on the radio is where I usually hear it as, where you hear, to get this great deal, those people with the last names starting with A through L, call today. People with the last name of M through Z, call tomorrow. They want to build that anticipation up. So and it's just a marketing point because you never hear them say, hey, it's M and to Z's turn to call. It's always the same commercial. So they're trying to get you to buy into the fact that this is a hot thing. You got to get it right now. And it's the same thing with sometimes the low price confuses people. They're like, well, why is that so cheap? And this guy's got the same thing for $45. Now, is there something wrong with his? Yeah, once my item's listed, I don't go back and raise it because too many people go back and they'll raise the price by double and then do a 50% off sale. That doesn't work. People can see right through that. But and I never do a sale that big. I think the biggest sale I've ever run was I'm actually running a 25% off sale on certain items this week, today, actually yesterday and today. But it's only higher priced items that I've got a lot of room to work on. But yeah, you got to be careful with your pricing. But like I said, if you price it fairly competitive and then you do a little sale, a little best offer, things move.
Did you run a sale over the holiday weekend?
I run a sale pretty much all the time. If I'm not running a sale, it's because I forgot.
So how did you feel about like yesterday, the holiday? Did you do good or did you think it was slow?
Yes, I was. Again, I never really tried the holiday sales for 4th of July. Let's see what I did yesterday.
Yo, we did shockingly good for 4th of July.
I didn't have that. I think I had 3 or 4 sales yesterday. Let me see. I got 7 I got to ship today. I had 3 yesterday. Nothing special. I had some negotiating. The day before, now Monday I did pretty well. Monday I did about $140. So
yeah.
Yesterday was just around $40. Kind of what I expected. I don't usually do well on the actual holiday. But usually the night before I do well, and then the day after.
Oh, on the yesterday was the 4th. I did 326, and then the 3rd I did 305. But then the day before I only did 140.
I had a really
but
so
yesterday I sold a remote control bolt in there, so that was $180 of that.
I mean, I did over 400 for the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But and Mondays typically are slower days for me, and because I typically my Monday I only get 1 or 2 sales.
Mondays are not.
But for me, Monday was good. I did 140. I mean, and my average day, when you figure out my month, my average day is about $90 to $95 a day. Your guys average out to 300. I average out to 90. But you've got 6 times as much stuff listed as I do. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't even think I have 500 items up right now.
Yeah.
Well, and you'd have to half what we do because we're 2 people.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean,
you're 1 person.
Hang on. I'm having autism kid troubles.
Do both of you list, Jim and Terrell?
I do 90% of the listing, and he does pretty much all the shipping. Once in a while, he'll list something, but rarely does he. How often do you list? I mean,
not as much. I can't.
Well,
I'm always shipping.
Yeah, last week we bought all those server parts. He did list all those computer server parts we had sold because he just knows more about that kind of stuff than me. But I mean, usually he doesn't really list that much.
I love to list. I mean, I don't avoid. It's not that I don't. I mean, I just love it. But I mean, with the amount of shipping, that and Tara really does not love to ship or whatever. So the amount of shipping I'm doing, I just. At 11:30 at night, when you finally get done, it's like, oh, geez, do I really want to? I just don't feel. I feel like cracking a beer and just watching TV and vegging for about half an hour, going to bed.
Well, you doing that shipping, that's an important part, though. I mean, it's not like you're.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like you're doing something,
And there's absolutely no way we could put up the numbers we put up with 1 person. No flipping way.
Yeah.
No, if I died tomorrow, I mean, it would instantly make this go way down because we are a team. We're 2 people.
Well, yes, and I would go through a period of depression where I wasn't putting
I'm glad you'd be sad. Or if one of us died, I mean, not the grieving part, but to try to stand it would be hard to maintain that many listings. And when you're 1 person, you have to do the shipping too. So if you sell a lot of stuff, half your day is dedicated to shipping or whatever,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we sell big. I couldn't, and if I didn't have him, I wouldn't be able to sell the big stuff I sell where he builds crates and stuff because I'm not going to do that or can't or don't have the ability to do that. And he does it now. So I would have to change stuff I actually buy. I wouldn't be able to go buy a blacksmith's forge because I wouldn't have the ability to build a crate for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when my husband quits his job and sells on eBay, I'm going to have to do all the listing because he just doesn't do that. But you don't have to do all the shipping or something,
And it's not like when we started this, okay, Jim, you do all the shipping and I'll do all the listings. It just evolved into it.
Yeah.
It just naturally evolved that way. We didn't assign jobs to each other, pick jobs. It's just the way it evolved. Because when we first started doing this, we're both doing things. We're both packing, we're both doing listings, and then it just evolved to him mostly shipping and me mostly listing.
Yeah. Well, that would be fine because I don't mind listing and taking pictures and stuff. But I don't mind shipping, but some of it I hate. And so it would work out and he doesn't mind shipping, so it kind of will work out perfect, I think.
And I know my limitations. I'm not going to go out there with a wood saw and be building a crate. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not a woodworker.
So don't buy stuff when you're in an auction. Don't buy stuff that requires a crate to ship, and that's why my advice to somebody who's doing this by themselves and can't make a crate, just or thinks they want to do crates but don't understand how it takes 2 hours to build a crate, because plan on 2 hours a day per crate.
Did Terry
that's too off to be doing other stuff.
Did you just give Jim the one finger wave?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought you when he said don't buy something that requires a crate, you went like, okay, no problem.
Oh, no. I think I'm listing some stupid T-shirts, and I think I must have raised my hand.
Oh, dodged a bullet.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm buying stuff at auctions, I'll look at Gary. Do you mind building a crate for this, or do you mind?
I say that to Jim all the time. I go, is this stuff? This has got some value. Is this something that you want to mess around with crating? He'll tell me, yeah. I'll give you an example. The auction where I bought the blacksmith forge, it had a press, very big one, biggest one I've ever seen. Probably weighed over 100 pounds on its own. And Jim's like, unless it goes really cheap, no, because I'll have to do it freight. It's going to be too heavy, and it's going to be a big moose to. And I said, fine, and I did bid on it, and I got outbid, and I let it go.
Yeah.
So I will ask him, hey, is this something you want to mess around with boxing?
So he says not really, and yet you still bid on it anyway.
No, he said unless it goes really cheap, then we'll just put it for local pickup because it was a really big one.
Okay.
It was the biggest one I've ever seen. I mean, shoot, that thing weighed 100 pounds. It was crazy.
Yeah, as I said, I made a couple buying mistakes where I got stuff I didn't know how to ship, and I finally actually got a military shipping container I bought at another auction to put the big thing in that I bought to ship. So now I actually a case to ship it in, so I know now I can list it because I have a size and I'll have a weight because it's going to go freight. So
again, even with the crating, it evolved because I remember back when we first started. I mean, we were parting out a lot of outboard motors. Jim would send something like a lower unit in a heavy-duty cardboard box. I mean, now he wouldn't imagine doing something like that. It's very hard to keep something like that from busting through the box or whatever. Yeah, so
well, this does evolve. This is one of those nice crates that it's made out of that plastic, whatever they use, and it's got the little tie downs for everything, and it'll slide right into it. I got a bunch of nice dense foam that'll pack it in there nice and tight. I won't have to worry about it, and they'll get the crate too. So, I mean, it only raised my investment by $10. It would have cost me more than that to get it crated up with wood. So,
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
I should have bought a bunch.
Well, on your time. And when he does do these cratings, I mean, they have to be items that sell for a lot of money because I don't want him out there wasting his time on something that sold for like $50 or something.
Yeah, no, this item should sell for, I'm going to guess it right around $600. So, I mean, retail, it's like $1,800 retail, and this is a fairly new item. I don't have all the pieces. I'm missing one piece, but it's actually the heaviest piece of the set, but you can order that for like $120. It's a wear piece, so it wears out.
Mm-hmm.
But the press itself and everything is in perfect condition except for that one piece. But I said it should sell for $600 or $700 by itself. What would y'all use on a manual typewriter to get the keys to move more smoothly?
Jim, typewriter. Hey, Jim, what would you use on a manual typewriter to get the keys to move more freely?
Well, oil in the keyway there where they
attach.
Yeah, you know, you can see where the keys pivot. Follow the key down to its base, and there's that C-shaped. You can't hear me. If you follow the key arm all the way down to its base, you can see that C-shaped ring that they all swing in. that's a common place for dirt to collect. So if you have compressed air, blow it out. If you don't, use like a matchbook, a thickness piece of cardboard, and go through and pick each one individually. You'll pull out a ton of dirt. Then oil it well, or WD-40 it well, and just keep swinging the keys and it'll loosen up.
If that doesn't work, you cut the keys off and sell them for scrap, or sell them for crackers if it's an old enough typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And typewriters, again, heavy to ship, so it better be worth something. Yeah, watch out on your shipping on it.
Yeah, it's got to be worth.
Because you're.
I mean, the good thing about a typewriter is they're usually small enough that you can get them into a normal sized box. But yeah, there's some weight to them. So.
And delicate, because the escapement can be damaged, and like if they're dropped, we couldn't even, when we repaired them, if somebody brought in something to it, we try to fix it, but typically, it's screwed. You can't ever get it back to factory right.
Yeah, I've got
that carriage is damaged.
That have all the cases. I just need to get them. It's a Smith Corona Sterling.
Yeah. What color?
I don't know. Silver Hair Stacker's got it, so I don't know. I got a turquoise blue one.
Yeah, they made some that were red. The red ones do real well, but turquoise blue and green, they're not super hot.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it's probably worth $40.
Yeah. And
I got to decide if it's worth 40, and then I got to figure out. Yeah, he says it's $30 plus shipping. Puke green, so that's 70s.
Yeah, if it's yeah, I mean, if he cannot get it in working order, do not mess with it, because otherwise you're going to wind up with a return or a bad feedback or something. Make sure that thing's 100%, because the one that they're selling for $30 is working well. Yours may have if those keys aren't working right, there could be other problems in the machine. It might be sell to a different reseller.
I said what I do with them is because I usually get them for $1 or $2. And if they're the newer versions, which aren't worth anything to crafters, I test them. If they're not working perfect, I just throw them away.
Yeah.
They're not worth messing with.
Jim used to be a typewriter technician, so he does know a lot about like getting typewriters going. And there's a lot of typewriters we pass over.
Yeah. I like to buy the old ones, the old Remington, things like that, because I know the keys have value. Worst case scenario. And it kills me to cut something apart that's settled, but there was a lot of those out there. So, and I can get about $40 to $45 for a set of keys off one of those.
How do you get the keys off?
You got to cut them off. It's a pain in the ass.
Cut them with a what?
I actually use a die grinder. It'll go through the metal like butter, but it's a pain in the ass, because you have to turn on the side and you just all the way down, and you're cutting and you're leaving about that much metal on the end of it for the crafters to work with.
Oh wow!
And what they'll do is they'll cut them down lower. Or they'll put them. They'll use that stub of metal and they'll shape it to get it to insert into a necklace or a ring or something. So toy makers love them.
It's the stuff of horror movies. I mean, I know it, and I'm not a caretaker of this stuff, but I could not do that. I mean, I just couldn't.
I don't do it very often, but it's got to be one that's totally not savable. It's either rusted apart or something, but the keys are in decent shape. And
yeah,
I would love to sit there and delicately take the whole thing apart so I have the whole key of everything, but that's too much of a pain in the ass.
Right.
It would be like if me and Eric were trapped on some island or something, there was no food. Now I knew I had to kill Eric to survive, to eat. I would be the last resort. I wouldn't just jump to them.
Yeah, but I'd already killed Jim Eaton by that point anyway. So.
Hi, Dusty.
Oh, Dusty's back.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
I got negative feedback this morning.
Oh, bad.
Uh-oh.
I got neutral, sorry.
Well, I got a neutral yesterday, too.
I really don't give two rats butts because it'll fall off, but this one's kind of like, okay, so I get a message the other day that says, greeting, not greetings, not two greetings, just one. Greeting, would you please take a moment to leave feedback for me? Buying online depends on trust. Your feedback is very important. Okay, no biggie. So I was actually not anywhere near a computer. I basically just composed a message back real quick, which normally I just don't do anything. But I composed a message back real quick from my phone that said, hell no, I can't find it. We have all of our thanks so much. We have all of our feedback set up to be left automatically. Once you leave feedback, like feedback will be left in return. Thanks. That's all I said. So I get a neutral feedback that says rude and condescending. The guy writes me back and says, you have it backwards. You leave feedback for the purchaser first to show respect for the sale. I buy a lot of perfume bottles every week. This is not to my liking, and I will not engage in any further transactions.
Good, then block his ass.
I guarantee you that was probably...
That's Tara's answer for everything. If you can't work it out, block his ass.
Got a neutral yesterday. Jim got a neutral yesterday too. He had gotten a message. Guy's like, "Oh, this thing isn't arriving on time." Now we shipped it on time and it arrived on time. So he gave us a neutral that were slow shippers and it didn't arrive on time, which it did on the tracking, but whatever. So Jim, first thing he says is, "Good. Now I'm blocking your ass." And he's a small engine repairman. So Jim's like, you ain't buying no more parts from me.
And a lot of the small engine parts we have, we're the only ones who have them. There are no comps because nobody else. These are obsolete, no longer available parts for like Briggs and Stratton, Robin, Tecumseh. These are obsolete parts you can't get nowhere else. So now you're gonna have to go call your brother-in-law to go buy the part for you because you ain't gonna buy it direct from me, dickwad. Oh, I'm sorry.
They were live.
That slipped. Okay,
that was bad.
Hey,
it's all right. It's on my channel.
Dusty, that guy. God. Yeah, we'll just pass out the password so everybody can use this channel. But anyway, Dusty, when he left you that neutral, your automatic feedback did not leave him a feedback. You know that, right?
That's true.
Yep, he won't get a feedback. That's the other nice thing about leaving me a negative or neutral. You will never get any feedback from me. 0. So you're not going to move up a point in your feedback either, you dip.
We've got 640 feedback. It looks like he left a negative a year or so ago. He's been a member since 01, 640 feedback. I'll probably write him back and say, listen, I don't really understand why I got left in neutral. You left me in, I'm not going to engage him at this point, but at this point, it kind of just probably hit me wrong this morning.
Yeah.
I'm just going to write him back and say, listen, I didn't mean to come across as rude and condescending, but based on the amount of volume that we do on eBay, it is physically impossible for us to leave manual feedback. Therefore, we have automated an automatic system to do it because we're a one-man show, or I'm a one-man show.
I have mine automated to do as soon as they pay, they get feedback.
No, we do it when they leave us feedback.
Yeah, we do it when they leave it because that way, if they leave us a neutral or negative, they get nothing.
They get nothing, right? And I think there's still a lot of people out there that probably don't realize that sellers can't leave negatives even though it's been that way for years. So in my thinking is it still leaves a little bit of something hanging out there.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Actually, I don't even look at feedback, so I don't really care. But that's why I said it just automatically as soon as they pay. That way, I don't have to think about it. I did like the way he spoke condescending, though.
Well, but my thing is, okay, I don't want to leave him positive. You left me neutral feedback, so in my sense, I wasn't satisfied with the whole overall. There's not people like this, and I've heard people argue before. Well, they paid, they held up their end of it. No, there's a lot more to a transaction than them just paying. Them getting it, them getting happy, it going smoothly, them not coming back and leaving a neutral afterwards. It says rude and condescending, which you couldn't have spelled condescending right. Stupid ass foreigner.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Well, y'all got to see his name. He's got some name I can't pronounce. So there you go.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
Ordering you today.
Okay. Sarcastic. That was a joke, everybody.
Thank you, Jack Smack. I agree. This is what I was trying to say, Jack. I'm just not awake yet. Jack said it better though. Feedback should be left regarding the entirety of the sale. The sale isn't over once the buyer pays. there are many more opportunities for the buyer to show their ass before it's over. And that's my
That's fine. I say everybody. I mean, I just don't care. Since they took feedback out of the metrics for how you're measured on your business, I really don't care.
Well, one thing I will tell you, like with that feedback that I got, the neutral, I immediately respond with, if you have a problem with your item, please contact us so we can help. I will leave that response to every negative or neutral feedback. The reason I do that is because I personally, when I want to buy something, there's two of them at the same price, and I'm debating on which one to buy from. I will check the seller's feedback, and if he responds to the negatives with like, "Can't you read, stupid?" How many? Well, I can't believe I have to deal with buyers like you. Sarcastic comments like that, I will probably buy from the other seller because this guy gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, if there's a problem, I can't return it. I gauge him on how he responds to his negatives, so I always respond politely, just like Walmart would. If you have a problem with your item, please contact us. Now, in the backstory, what the buyers who are reading that don't know is I blocked this jerk, but they don't know that. Use the negative as an opportunity to show buyers that you have good customer service. I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
And then block
them, because I mean it's a big world out there. You don't need to deal with this one jerk. Get them off your tail.
I have a little different take, I guess, but
well, I am nuts, but
Jim is crazy. And in that respect, we get very few negatives or neutrals. I have one negative for 12 months. It's ready to fall off. And I might have 6 neutrals. I don't really get very many. We sound real tough, but we don't really get a lot of negative. Oh, the negative's gone. Yay. Now we'll be ready for a new one. And
we had the same thing last year. We went 3 days without a negative.
I have no negatives in the last 12 months. I have 2 neutrals. One was product seems to be less than a large. It had the measurements in it. It says large in the tag. I can't help that they're bigger than a large if they think they are.
You're not a large.
Yeah, and the other one was Crystal was out of dial and receive. It still works. We'll deal with a good sale. But he left me a neutral. It's a shipping issue. He should have said, "Hey, this got damaged in shipping," and I would have said, "Hey, no problem. I'll file a claim on it, and no big deal." But
right.
One of my neutrals this is a neutral. Good to work with. Good to work with. Maybe a neutral. I mean, I don't know if they hit the button on accident or what. You know what I mean? You're good to work with. I might give you.
I was like,
my 2 negatives are my 2 neutrals aren't even that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the last negative I got, the guy was like, "Alright, broken," and I'm like, "Dude, just send it back, or tell me at least. Hell, I'm just giving your money back." But that's usually when I get something like that, it's because they've dealt with some other pissy ass buyer has no returns, and they don't understand that not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're not difficult to reach. I don't want to because I know we say block his ass, but if you initiate a return, we're very easy to work with. We take our returns, blah, blah, blah. We do refunds. If it ain't worth us having them send it back, we'll just be like, all right, it broke or whatever. Here's your money. We're very good to work with. We don't fight with a buyer.
Right. We do it by logic alone. It's a fight you can't win. With a return, you're going to just take it and make the person as happy as possible, hope for decent feedback, and everything works out good. So we work with these people, but if you get a person who's a problem person, in my opinion, why do it again? It's like don't go back to the ex you had trouble with. If you're in a bad relationship with a person, just end it because there's plenty more fish in the sea. Just go move on to people who appreciate what you got.
Right.
Now, if you're given, but I say this, I'm sincere. If you're giving service that is so lousy that you deserve a single negative feedback, you probably shouldn't be on eBay.
Right.
Well, that's true. I mean, 90%. I mean, I gotta say 100% of the negatives I've got is it would have been fixed if they just contacted me first.
And you would have worked with them exactly. And then I'm just saying that it's these. If the person called you and said, "Hey," or contacted you and said, "Hey, this isn't right," or whatever, and you made no effort to make it right, you ignored them, or you came back with snarky comments or whatever, then you probably don't belong on eBay. But we like everybody else here, when we get a person complaining or whatever, we do our level best to fix it. And if we can't fix it, you get your money back or a return or whatever it takes. We're going to do it because eBay's going to make us anyway.
Right.
I mean, besides the fact I want to give good service anyway, I mean, it's in me to do that. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't like to do that, eBay's going to make you do it. eBay and PayPal are going to make you do it anyway. So I'm
just trying to figure out how I was rude and condescending. I mean, I guess, you can only read so much with the written word. That's why I hate it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was, and normally.
I think you could get that removed because he's not talking about the item at all. He's talking about you. And you can show your conversation history. You just simply showed him your policy, and then the guy came back, and I think he was actually rude coming back at you like that. I think that's one of those ones you could get removed if you choose. Is it worth the 10-minute call to eBay to get it removed?
If I get my new favorite rep, hopefully he's working today because he's just awesome.
And if you can't get it removed, use this as an opportunity to show other buyers, future buyers, that you deal with people well. Just say, hey, if you have a problem, contact me, and leave it at that.
I can't believe that feedback is that big a deal to somebody like that. Yeah. The guy's got, like I said, member since 01, 640 feedback, and apparently just a buyer only. I didn't see any signs of selling or anything. And really, like, that's that big a deal? I don't want to say the guy's name, but if you can see the guy's name, I think that explains a lot of it. Here, I'll put his name in here. Just don't say it out loud.
Oh, how do you pronounce that now? Oh, yeah.
Hitler.
Hey, I'm a German.
Oh, boy.
That explains it. I'm going to leave you neutral.
I think Jack Smack needs to get himself a mic and a camera and get the hell on here.
Get the hell on here? What was that?
Get the hell on here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dang it.
Anything that's easy to ship.
Yep, just like Mr. Sadie says, rude could be in the eye of the beholder.
I told her to go F himself. Is that rude?
It's all about, how people perceive things.
Well, like I said, normally
sensitivity level,
Normally I just go in there and leave them one manually real fast.
Well, just like you said, it could have hit you wrong, this early in the morning. It could have just, hit you wrong. Maybe
has a question for you, but I don't know what they mean. It says what thickness of plywood and 2x4 is on a pallet and then shrink wrap.
Maybe those people had, a bad day or whatever, and the message that you replied with just hit them wrong.
Right.
It could have been just as easy as that.
No, it's on.
Probably better if we had like
I had a good 4th. I got my hair chopped off and had a barbecue and fireworks. How was your 4th, Valerie?
She looked like she was having a lot of fun in her pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was like, where are you talking to Valerie at? And I just saw her name over there.
Yeah, she's having fun with her daughter and her son-in-law and her grandboy Atlas. it's been a while since she's been able to see them. So,
Are y'all talking about sales before I came on? Are they good or bad or?
Just kind of how were they over the Monday and Tuesday?
I had a decent, well, not so much Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. I had a good Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was really good for me, but the weekend was good. But the Monday and Tuesday were not bad. Tuesday not as good as Monday, but I don't think that's a big shopping online day because I think most people are outside doing stuff all day long.
They're vacationing.
Can you bring up that question?
He spelled condescending wrong in his feedback. Can I correct?
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was like,
Can I correct him in my response and put, first of all, it's condescending and put the correct spelling. Or I could be like passive aggressive and put, I'm so sorry you felt we were condescending, and then put sick after it.
Actually, I'm so sorry you felt we were condescending. Spell it right, and then put the little icon, little emoji with the mic drop.
Emojis and feedback.
I think so.
It's just a little.
I don't know.
I think
I don't know about.
It's
Sorry.
a little. I mean, all that because I said something wrong to him. I mean, seriously, I can understand if I got a neutral because
your business practice is the problem.
Huh?
He's mad because he disagrees with how he thinks you should run your business.
I mean, I don't care the rate we get feedback. I mean, our sales are down some right now, but you know, at the rate we get, that'll drop off in 3 days. It'll be off the first page, and I don't really care. You know.
Yeah, once you get something off the first page, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, like I said before, I like to make it. I use it as an opportunity. This turtle trader had a question. He wants to know what the plywood then shrink wrap. I assume he's shipping on something on a pallet. Nikki said something good the other day. She goes to Menards or any like Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get those ratchet straps. They're pretty inexpensive. Just buy those inexpensive ratchet straps and ratchet strap the item to the pallet. But then you're talking about like how to box it in. I don't ever use plywood. I use 1/4 inch OSB, and I use what they call them, furring strips.
Yeah.
They're like 3/4 inch by about an 1.25 inch dimension. They cost about 80 cents a piece. They're in the lumber area by like 2x4s and stuff. And that's why I use for the internal skeleton of the box. But if you're strapping it to a pallet, you may not have to put any box around it at all.
But you might have to put shrink wrap around it just to protect it.
I guess I guess you could shrink wrap it to protect it, but the straps would probably work better than the shrink wrap and holding it in one place. But that said, I don't do stuff on pallets anymore because it's freight, and I find it always scares the hell out of me because what happens if it goes to Texas freight and they don't like it? Now I got to deal with a return or just let them have it. I deal with it on something.
I think the last stuff we sold freight, the buyer had to arrange and pay for the shipping, then you just got a bill of lading on it, right?
Yeah, that's the way I'll do it now. It's either a local pickup, or if you email me a label from your carrier, I'll affix it to the item. I'll pack it and affix it to the item, and then the freight's on you.
Yeah.
Hope that answered it.
Or they left already because it was a ways back.
Oh.
Anyway.
Jennifer's talking about she had a buyer. I think it was Jennifer. Had a buyer say a picture package got there empty, and then she showed a picture of the package and it was stamped received damage and the package was open. At that point, you just got to file the insurance claim if you had insurance on it. If not, you're just going to have to do a refund and move on.
Move on. Nice one. God, I watch shipping this stuff. Then I get the one last night. Let me guess, this is Global Shipping Program. I get the one last night that says, please don't ship it right after they buy it. I bought the lot of blah, blah, blah just before 10 minutes. I don't know what this means, but we're using some little broken English here. I am in my holidays, so I can't receive the postal item. Please send it 2 or 3 weeks later. I am back home at 2nd of August. Thanks a lot for your help. Yours.
I would send it.
I mean, it's global shipping, and I don't know if that times out. I mean,
I would just send it. And
why did you buy it a month? But if you're leaving on a trip and you're not going to be back for a month.
What country is it going to?
Hold on. Print packing slip. DE Denmark.
No, that's Georgia. Germany.
Is DE
Deutschland.
Is that Denmark?
Oh yeah. It's going over there.
That's only about a week and a half.
I mean, yeah, Germany. Okay, so I don't know, and the address is very basic. I mean, it doesn't look like this village has more than like 4 people in it. No, seriously, though, it looks pretty small.
Don't they have like? I guess they don't have a postal hold in Germany or something. I mean,
yeah, but they probably won't send it postal. I don't. Global shipping, don't they usually do?
I don't know. I never tried to track it, so.
Because they usually do it more of a courier. I mean, it appears to be an apartment building, maybe.
What town's it in?
Hanover. Why can't transactions just go normal? Yeah, apparently the Germans have it in for me, according to Jack. I mean, my metrics can take.
Because he's on vacation.
Oh.
Well, you can get that one off of your metrics.
Yeah, and that one wouldn't be hard to do, but then then I got to turn around and do it, and yada yada yada. And I mean, where's the shipped on time? What's the important one? Late shipment rate.
No, I think that's the one that's bad.
Late shipment rate. I mean, I'm 0.33. Tracking uploaded on time and validated 99.24. I'm good there. I mean, I can take a hit. It's just going to drive me insane for it to sit in my not shipped thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I don't really know with global shipping. I mean, I'm sure they could figure it out. If something shows up 3 weeks later, they've got their own little code in there. I wouldn't think they redo their computer systems every 2 weeks and wipe everything out. But I don't know. I'm tempted to just go ahead and ship it.
Yeah, late shipment is
because that will probably go by. Oh, go sorry.
Well, late shipment rate, you've got a 3% cushion in there. So that's the one you got to be worried about.
I just don't like leaving stuff sitting hanging. That's what drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't mind if they. I would rather they just buy it and say, "Hey, by the way, I'm not going to pay for this until I get back." So,
seriously.
I mean, that way you're not dinged on your activity or anything. So.
Well, they don't know. They don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they don't know it from a seller standpoint that we have to ship things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's when you hit them and say, "I'm sorry, my automated robot packaging system already mailed it out."
And the same one that leaves feedback, which gets me automatic neutrals. No, and I've had people do that before too. And then 2 weeks go by and I forget to ship it, and then one guy got a little irritated with, "Where's my item?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm really not used to holding things to ship on a certain day. I apologize. I'll get it in the mail." He's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal," and they got real nice. But you asked me to make an exception that's outside of my normal scope of things, and then you get upset, you know, at first because
Lost.
Yeah, we had that happen to one in Canada before we're doing global shipping. This guy buys this part, goes, well, I live in the U.S., but I won't be back till spring. Can you ship it in April? And this is like December. Well, of course, we're helping Jim pack, and what do? I grab it and pack it because I'm just going up the list to pack. Gets it shipped out. Guys like May or whatever. Oh, you can ship my item. Jim can't find it. He's like, oh, my God. So he figures out that we shipped it. He's like, it's at your house. We shipped it early and we're sorry and stuff like that. The guy's like bitching us out. I'm going to call the cops on you. You're fraudulent. Jim had to talk to him on the phone and he found it. It was in his basement. Anyway.
His neighbor was taking care of his house, saw it on the stoop and brought it into the house and put it in the basement.
Well, I mean, if you go on
he
vacation,
goes, I know what.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
No, you go. No, you go.
Okay,
You go.
I'm going now.
Yeah.
So he sends me this thing. He knows what county I'm in Wisconsin. He's going to contact our sheriff's department. I'm a fraud. I'm a thief. All this other stuff. I mean, it was just a big. I mean, no good deed goes unpunished. It was a nightmare. And then it was in his basement. He's like, but then he's like, you're lucky. And I mean, doesn't say, I'm sorry, I, said all that bad stuff to you and whatever. I'm like,
that's one of those ones you kind of write back. Says, you're lucky I didn't come up there and kick your ass for the way you spoke to me, even though you had the product.
You gotta keep it professional.
I mean, normal people, if you're going on vacation, you make arrangements to have. I go through this with my father-in-law every single freaking time. He'll call me. He lives in Birmingham, 100 miles away, and he'll call me and go, hey, can you do that thing where you put my newspaper on hold again? And finally, last time I looked, and apparently they've taken that ability, or I can't find it on the newspaper's website anymore. And I'm like, nope, you're going to have to call them. And I'm like, why don't you think of this stuff? Like, this trip's been planned for 2 months. Don't order something from Amazon 3 days before you leave on a trip if you know that it might not be here in time, unless you need it for that trip. But if that's the case, then have it sent to the hotel where you're going. It's not. I don't understand people sometimes.
Well, on a footnote to that story about the angry Canadian, I blocked his ass.
I use my block. I know we've talked about this before. Who was it? Jason said he only has like 0 people in his block better list. I use not a lot, but like somebody like this, I probably would use it just because I don't want him to buy from me again. And I don't want to have to remember all the names in my head. I use it fairly liberally. It's, but you got to really do something for me to just go, nope, don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, I don't have anybody on my block list either.
We got about 30.
I got like 15 maybe over the last 5 years. So.
Oh, I'll read you my list. Most of which are so old that it now actually says, I can't find my block better. Why do they rearrange my page every time I get used to it? Most of them are so old that now it says like user or a number at deleted. I guess that's what happens once their account goes dormant or whatever, or they become not a registered user. There's somebody named Ty Nikki.
Oh, it was Nikki's old seller name.
Yeah.
I thought you look like you might be from Thailand, Nikki.
Now, before I say this, I want to have you guys remember I am fishing. But I wonder how mad my husband's going to be that his truck smells like fish.
Oh, boy.
You're fishing right now from inside the truck?
Yeah. Well, no, I got my pole in. Now there's a fly fisherman here, so I pulled my line in.
Is this gonna be like in the winter when you lost that fish in your car for a while?
No.
When you guys were talking about the block list or whatever, it made me think of something from a movie that I'm sure you've all seen it called Pootie Tang. Remember Pootie Tang with Chris Rock? And Chris Rock is Pootie Tang's dad. And he tells him, if you want to get respect, you got to give respect. And that's the way I follow him. like with these nasty feedbacks.
I'm
and stuff.
glad you use the logic from a movie to base.
Well, it is, but it's actually I believe Pootie Tang's dad was right. I agree with Chris Rock on a lot of stuff. He's a pretty smart guy.
I can't find my block buyers list anymore.
I was watching something. They showed the clip with Chris Rock where he's like, the problem. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I was watching yesterday. And then you'll laugh because whatever. I was watching Bowling for Columbine.
Oh, no.
That Michael Moore documentary. But I forgot I had seen it. Once I got to the end of it, I'm like, wait a minute, I've already seen this. But I was just looking for a documentary.
Bowling for Columbine. Jim doesn't allow that movie in the house.
Well, and he's a nut job and all that, but I just kind of wanted to see his perspective on stuff. So, but there's a Chris Rock clip in there where Chris Rock's like, the problem is, oh, I'm so not awake. I'm going to butcher it. But basically, the problem with bullets is that we should make them all cost $5,000 a piece. He's like, that way, if somebody gets shot, there's no innocent bystanders. If somebody gets shot, you know they deserve it because you just spent $5,000 to shoot them.
Well, if they had one day a year where you would have to pay, like, I'd say $5,000 for the hunting season ticket for somebody that really, really agitated you, and you could go hunt them down. I bet you people.
I mean, that's a movie. That's there was two of them. The
Purge.
Purge.
Was it? Yeah, but I mean, people would treat each other a lot better because when you want to tell your neighbor, hey, whatever, you think, uh-oh, he might pull me on this hunting season thing. No, I think I'll be cool with it. We'll work this out. People would cooperate a lot better.
I just get the weird. Normally most of my transactions are really problem free, but I get the weirdest. It's the oddball stuff.
It's the volume, though. When you do a lot of volume, you are going to run into kooky people.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Walmart deals with it, or big stores. I mean, it's just the volume. You're going to run into them. It's like fishing, you're just going to catch them.
It's like work. If you have a job that if you work for a place that employs more than 10 people, nobody replaces work that can work. Wow, we're very lucky. Because any place I've ever worked with more than 10 employees, at least one more completely. I mean, people. I think I'm pretty easy going. They're just people I just absolutely could not deal with.
I work in a place where there's 2 employees, and I know one's a complete.
It's not me. It's another.
It is you.
So it's a miracle we have as few problem people on eBay. It should be way more.
Does anybody that fly fish, do they ever actually catch anything?
I never fly fish.
They barely touch the water.
I'm sure there is, or they wouldn't do it.
I understand it. They barely touch the water. And I never thought trout was like that active a fish where it would chase the line.
Yeah, they're pretty active though for topwater flies though. I mean, they hit them hard. Yeah.
I don't have patience to learn technique. Y'all would laugh if you saw my fishing technique.
If you're gonna fly fish, that's like an art form.
Yeah, it's like the river.
Yeah, it's like Brad Pitt in the river through it.
Brad Pitt.
Remember River Runs Through it? With Brad Pitt, and he had this like whole
That's a good movie.
Was that Brad Pitt or was it
Brad Pitt and his brother? I don't remember who his brother is. Robert Redford directed it, and it had the guy from Picket Fences in it.
What river movie was Kevin Bacon in that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Well, this one would be Tom Skerritt was the dad, and Brad Pitt was the son and go out drinking and gambling.
Yeah.
And they get wind up with that new or that future brother-in-law or something winds up with that whore. They fall asleep in the sun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And she wakes up. She goes, "I'm got something to drink. I'm dry as dirt."
She's all nude and sunburned. That was good.
And he goes, "Looks like you got a little sun." And she's like, "Sun don't bother me none."
Hey Jimmy, check out this cool knife I sold.
Ooh, Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this knife that Jason's sold.
I like knives.
It's like
Yeah,
ninja
Jimmy.
Dragon Lord.
Hey, you come down the hallway with that knife in your hand in your apartment complex. It will definitely fire. No, that will scare people. I'd rather see somebody come out with a 9mm. Because anybody buy a crazy knife like that is nuttier than squirrel.
True.
No offense to your buyer. He's on right now. Yeah. The buyer is Dusty Graham.
What was it? It's going to New York.
Oh no, Nikki's buying it. She's going to use it to clean fish.
That'd be a pretty big knife to clean fish.
But it would be epic, Dragon Lord.
You know, have trouble getting good fillets.
Yeah. Maybe if I wanted to butcher it.
New York City. Is that where Nikki's at?
No.
Where are you, Nikki?
Probably never again. I'm down by the river in Superior.
In a van.
No, I'm actually in my husband's truck.
Oh, I thought you were on vacation or something.
No. I'm just fishing. There you go. I'm just fishing. Well, I was. Now it's getting a little warm for walleye fishing here in the river. If I want to go catch some walleye, I'll have to go a little deeper probably. Getting a little warm out. I went fishing yesterday with my little great nephew, and I have a bunch of worms left over, so I figured, well, I might as well go fishing today. Don't want to waste the worms.
I like breakfast.
Huh?
Had breakfast already ready to go.
Yeah.
Fry 'em up.
Sorry. Yeah, we had the Nikki's fishing show this morning. I got a couple fish. I was like, just call me Babe Winkleman.
Did you put it on camera though when you were like reeling it in? You know, like when you set the hook, did you go fish on, and then reel it in?
No. No. I just said, hold on, Sally, I got a fish. I'll be right back. And then I showed the fish on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be like the Alaskan frontier. Fish on, fish on.
Fish on, you know, and then like, oh, you know, these walleyes can be man eaters here in Superior, Wisconsin. Did you ever see the one where he does it where they're in Alaska or something? They're talking about like some musky man eater or something. I'm like, oh my god, this is weird.
The only thing I was worried about this morning was when I peed outside the truck that there might be a homeless guy lurking in the woods.
Oh boy.
Well,
could have gone all day without knowing that, Nikki.
If you want to get respect, you got to give respect. You are in front of the homeless guy. It's not his.
Ah, the visuals.
I'm on his turf.
You're in his sandbox.
Yeah. That was my nephew. My nephew. It's really not funny, but we laugh. Anyways, he's homeless because he drinks too much, and he chooses that life. I had him living with me, helping me on the farm, and then he decided. But the only thing he could have lived there for free and just helped on the farm if he didn't drink. Well, he decided he wanted to go live in a tent instead. Well, he goes in the springtime. He goes down to the river and he sleeps in his tent. So he's got riverfront property. People pay thousands of dollars for that.
There you go.
Silver Hair Stacker has a new name for you, Nikki. It's called Pissin' and Fishing.
Pissin' and Fishing? That's funny. Never know what I'm going to be doing.
Nope, you're always unexpected. Grandma Magic Classic says, don't know if bears shit in the woods, but no Nikki pees in the woods.
I'm not afraid of that. You gotta go, you gotta go.
That's right.
When the fish are biting, you're not gonna leave before you gotta pee. That's what baby likes to do.
Print. Print.
I still have more worms left, so maybe I'll be fishing tomorrow too.
Hey, Nikki, you know what that handle on the back behind the seat of a snowmobile is for?
Huh.
Holding on to while you're going on the ice when you're ice fishing. Yeah. And I don't mean number one. When you got to go, you take your roll of toilet paper, you drive well away from the other guy, you know, to give yourself some privacy, drive away on the snowmobile, then you stop the sled, you go behind the sled, and you hold on to that bar in the back of the seat, and then you can squat down, you got something to hold on to.
There you go.
When you're all done, you do the paperwork, and then drive back to the other guys. It is in the spring when the ice melts.
Now, if I had to go number 2, I'd bring my line in and go to the gas station.
Well,
there are some things that I won't.
It's Lake. If you look at the map of Minnesota, it's Lake Winnipeg. What is it? Is it
Winnipegosh?
Yeah, Winnipegosh. I mean, if you look at that lake, I mean, it's fucking enormous. I mean, it's a big lake. When you're out in the middle of it ice fishing, you ain't gonna make it back in. You're gonna put a snowmobile suit.
That's what you cut that separate hole for in your ice fishing shanty.
Well, we just leave it on the ice, though. We let the spring take care of it.
Why does this fish taste shitty?
Now we know why they got those grub worms and perch out there. Because y'all been shitting on the ice.
When you pull it up out of the hole, it's already smoking a cigar like Groucho Marx.
Yes.
I don't know how we got on this subject, but it made me think of this, Nikki. Well, I'd have these people that go up to Canada to go hunting moose, you know, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, could you do me a big favor? Like, if you have any mares when they're in heat, could you catch their urine and put it in for me so I can take it to Canada for moose hunting? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm going to be standing out in the field waiting for some horse in heat so I can catch its pee and then have you haul it to Canada in a 5-gallon pickle bucket.
That's nasty.
That's gross. I would get that request. I mean, a lot.
Good, so they can collect it themselves.
But the mare has to be in heat.
Oh, good. Well, they got more free time than you do.
Yeah, when it starts getting hotter out during the day, then I like to go over to the bay and fish because it's a little deeper and colder. It's still a little cool this morning, though, so maybe I might throw the line in again. We'll see.
And Nikki, River Monsters are canceling that show. It's its last season, so there's going to be an opening for a extreme fishing show to come out.
There we go.
I thought you were still talking about crapping on the ice when you're talking about River Monsters.
What? Oh, no, he's an extreme angler.
Yeah.
Extreme.
When the lights go down.
I was really hoping to have some walleye for dinner tonight.
TIBL 110 5.
Well, the guy put the pole back in his car, but he's not leaving. I could have just taken my ranch hand bumper and bumped him into the river.
There you go. This thing will push around, push horses or push homeless people into the river. Why is it all scratched up? Oh, it was the homeless people I was pushing around.
Oh, by the way, I was asking my husband about them pushing horses around with this truck. I guess the horse was attached to the truck, chained to the truck, or roped to the truck, or whatever, and then they would do it with their bit. They weren't like pushing.
Yeah, they'll do it with their teeth too, because like Jim's like, why do they do that? The minute I'll have my old truck out, like doing fence or whatever, they all mob around it. If you have the windows open, their heads are in the windows and they're biting. Like they'll take their teeth and they'll go like that on your paint on your hood and stuff. I don't know why. It drives Jim nuts.
Yeah, because I said, well, I was telling my friends about it, and Tara was wondering why they were pushing horses around. He goes, they weren't pushing horses around. So I got my stories intertwined with each other. They were pushing cows, but the horses were chained to the bumper. I took two stories and made it into one.
There you go. Well, made for a better story.
Yeah. I still like my grizzly bear story. That big bad grizzly bear down in Texas. Yeah, I thought I was going to start working again today, but I had the extra worms. There was a thunderstorm this morning. The morning was nice and cool. It was like I couldn't resist fishing.
Hey, turn that down. Oi, quick. Move faster.
Oi. Boy.
Are you gonna get dressed today or just sit around in your underwear?
She talking to the kid or Jim?
No, I'm talking to my son because he sits around just in his underwear.
I thought she was talking to Eric. I thought she was talking to Eric.
It's Wednesday, isn't it?
My fishing hole, get the hell out of here. Ring flame. Ain't enough room on the river for both of us.
Oh boy.
See my bumper? Get the hell out of here.
You do need that knife that Jason sold so you could like threaten people if there's not enough room on the river.
I could just stand there holding it.
Yeah, there's not enough room here for both of us.
I'm sure if I just stood there and stared at him holding it, that would be all I needed to do.
Fighting for territory.
Now I sound like a psycho.
I don't even know where that is. Oh, Washington State.
Well, that's where the Redskins are from.
Oh God.
I should have went up and got my little nephew this morning so he could have fished, but
No, you were too selfish.
I was.
I don't blame you.
I usually catch a lot of walleye when I use the green worms. Do you guys use Walt's crawlers? He has green worms.
Oh yeah, I forgot what they call those.
Walt's crawlers.
Walt's crawler.
Oh,
Yeah, we
got
sell
Walt's
those at my
crawlers
store.
here.
Yeah, they're over
Yeah.
in Michigan. And I usually catch a lot of walleye with those green worms.
Minnows work good too for them.
Yeah,
Walleye.
yeah. Over on Lake Minising, closer to my house, the walleye over there, I always catch walleye with minnows over there. On this river, I usually catch them with night crawlers.
Leeches will work good for night crawlers too. We used to fish a place called Bond Falls a lot, and if you use leeches, they work real good for night crawlers too.
Mm-hmm. Most times when I go fishing, I have two fishing poles, and I'll usually put a crawler on one and a minnow or a leech on the other.
Yeah.
I only brought one pole today, so.
I wrote Mr. Neutral Feedback guy back and very nicely said, I apologize if you felt like that was rude. However, due to the volume that I do, it's not possible to manually leave feedback, so we had it set up automated. I'm sorry if you felt that was rude. Thank you. Just left it at that.
Why did he leave you neutral feedback?
Because he didn't like my answer of why he wanted me to leave him. He's one of these like, leave me feedback right away. Everything on eBay is built on trust, and that's part of this and whatever. And I was like, our feedback's set up automatically. I was actually at the lake at the time. If I'd have been here, I'd probably gone in, found the transaction, manually done it. It's a little harder to do stuff from the phone. So I just sent him a message back, just actually used Siri or whatever and typed, I'm sorry. Why didn't you say I'm sorry? You know, our feedback is left automatically. Once feedback is left, it's set up on an automatic system. And apparently he felt that that was horribly rude and condescending.
Huh.
And now he will get no feedback.
The one thing I do like though about the Anchor store is I get this same rep. The times that I do call, I seem to get this same guy. And so we've kind of got a little bit of a rapport going, and he's pretty cool. Like if he knows you're, you know what I mean? Like I think,
yeah.
Like he'll be like, hey, I remember you. You're the guy with the Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. And I'll be like, yeah. And you know, he'll remember that I'm an okay. You actually have a person.
Have you ever called in to the Anchor store? Yeah.
No.
What's our personal rep? You should call and say, hey.
You don't get your own.
It's got to be worth it.
I don't get my own personal reps, but I do notice a tendency. You get the same department at the Anchor store every time. And so I do notice that I tend to kind of get this one guy fairly often.
Where that Christmas houses used to be, that bottom shelf. It's over there by the boat parts shelf.
Yep.
Okay, lot of, I have no idea where that is. Yeah. I got lucky. I'll have forgotten about it by the end of the day, though. I think it just hit me a little wrong-ish because I had to wake up to it this morning. You know?
Right. I always check my feedback when I wake up. I don't know why.
Looks like he actually left it. I think he must have left it yesterday. But I kind of took a down day yesterday. We got back from the lake yesterday, noonish. Oh God, it's done nothing but rain here. I swear. So I pretty much just vegged out on the couch all day. Gabe went with his sister and her boyfriend, and they went to shoot off all the last of the fireworks that we didn't do at the lake. They're mostly like the ground fireworks.
Right.
But they're some cool crowd.
We had the ones that went up in the air.
We had a lot of those, but we shot them off the dock. They were doing a fireworks display down there at the campground where Christian's uncle is. So after they got done with their big fireworks display, they kind of like roped off the dock. Like, don't anybody come on the dock. And so then after they left, and they had a U-Haul full, the campground did, which I didn't know all that was going to happen. So after they left, her uncle's like, well, you can crawl under that roped off thing. And I'm like, okay. So we went out to the end of the dock and used their they had left a big pile of all their like massive mortar things and all that, you know, the big faces with all the tubes. So we used those empty tube things to shoot everything out of.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, we were shooting guns and everything else yesterday.
Guns.
Guns. I shot a Glock yesterday.
Did you really? In the house?
No.
I think I'm going to ship this film anyhow.
Shut what down?
What? I'm going to ship this film that this guy bought. I'm going to ship it anyhow. The one he didn't want shipped.
Oh.
Now we know why we haven't
just
seen
say-
Naked Man yet this morning.
I would just say I didn't catch a message and I shipped it already.
Well, I mean, chances are with global shipping, the second leg of it will probably go, you know, DHL or go some type of courier. And they're going to hold it, you know?
Yeah. And it's probably going to be there within 3 weeks anyways.
Oh, man.
Hey Dusty, if I do ever hold something for somebody though, I make them tell me what day they want me to ship it on too. I don't let, because I'll say, oh, just ship it so it gets here on the 8th. No, that's not. No. You tell me what day you want me to ship it on, and then it's on you if it comes on the wrong day or something. I don't want to be the one to pick the day and then hope the post office gets there on the right day. So I tell them what day. What day? You tell me exactly what day you want me to ship it on. And then if you call up your customer service, you can tell them, you can look at my messages. This person is telling me to ship it on that day. If you got late, if you want to get rid of the late on your statistics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've already got that through a message that he sent. I mean, I guess I could mark it as shipped. Can you mark it as shipped without a?
No, you need to have tracking. It doesn't count.
Yeah, and that's going to screw up global shipping too.
Yeah, if there's no tracking, they don't buy it. They gotta see tracking.
So I'm seriously going to have like this transaction hanging out there and awaiting shipment. Not to mention, I mean, I kind of question if you have stuff just sitting here awaiting shipment and you're not doing it. I wonder, like behind the scenes with Cassini or whatever, I wonder what that does to your search and stuff. You know, if I was going to set up, okay, let's say if I was setting up an algorithm for eBay of which sellers do I want to favor, I would favor the ones that ship more quickly. You know, and if somebody just left crap sitting there, I would set up the algorithm to not favor them as much because that ultimately is going to mean unhappy buyers if they're not shipping quickly. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
I've only got 23 more things to pack.
Yay.
Winning.
I don't know.
Good one.
Good push.
Oh,
So annoying fishing when you don't bring your full tackle box with you.
Or somebody borrowed a bait when you're fishing, and the bait is still at the end of their rod, and they're not with you. And now you go to the tackle box, and your freaking bait's not there. Oh, that gets me so mad.
Yeah, it's always your favorite one.
Yeah. It's like, why did they let that person use it? Ugh.
Yeah, here, check this out. Try it out, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they never give it back. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, because it'll be like the watercolor. It'll be just perfect for this particular color lure or whatever. You're like, oh, I have just a lure for this watercolor. And then you pull it, you go in, and it's gone. Gone. Kill, kill, kill.
My husband had this friend who used to always steal stuff from us
Nice
out of the
friend.
tackle box.
Is that called a friend or a frenemy?
I know. Yeah, it didn't take him long to get rid of him. He started stealing out of my. Well, my husband was like, "Oh, whatever. He was just using it." I said, "No, stole it because he told you he didn't have it, and that one that you saw on his thing was his." So that's stealing. So get rid of that friend.
I had one semester I had a roommate in college, and my stuff's disappearing. I'm like, hey, have you seen any of it? Oh, no. Yeah, wow, that is weird. So one day it's gone, and I think I was out of deodorant. I'm like, well, if I won't use another dude's roll-on, but if they got some spray deodorant, I'll use it.
Yeah.
Went over to his dresser, opened the top drawer of his dresser. There's all my stuff. I mean, all of it. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a klepto. So I took all my stuff back. He never said nothing. Now, this guy also he weighed about 350 pounds and was probably 1% body fat. He was on the Point football team. So I didn't say nothing because he could crush my head like a nut. And he was from the inner city. He was a tough guy. I wasn't going to mess with him. We would kid around with each other, like he would call me Cracker, and I'd call him other stuff and stuff. You're just kidding around and stuff.
And I'd call him other stuff. Wow.
Well, we had that kind of relationship. I mean, we were actually.
It was the '80s. You could get away.
Well,
with
we're actually
doing it.
friends. I thought. I'm like, well, we got along good. But sometimes because his buddies would be like, what the hell? But anyway,
that's the political climate nowadays. You can use the Caucasian bad words, but you can't use any other bad words out there, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. And if you didn't know this guy, I mean, if you didn't have a good rep with him, you wouldn't have used anything wrong anyway. Because I mean, when I say you could crush your head like a nut, I wasn't kidding. So anyway, I didn't say nothing, but I did take my stuff back. That's what I call a frenemy. Half friend, half enemy.
Well, my husband, he doesn't fish as much as I do. It's just not that exciting to him. So when the guy was stealing his stuff, he was like, whatever, Well, Well, then the guy started stealing out of my tackle box because I left my tackle box in the boat. Oh no. And my husband's like, well, don't say anything. I said, bullshit, I ain't saying nothing.
Saying nothing?
He stole one of my lures that my grandpa, it was my grandpa's, and my dad gave it to me. Oh, baloney.
Did you go back and say, hey, open up your tackle box?
Yep.
Good for you.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you steal from me. I ain't sparing any words. My husband was mortified. He was like, I can't even believe you said that to him. I was like, well,
whatever.
Yeah, don't mess with the way I make a living, and don't mess with my stuff.
Yep.
We get along great.
Well, this shit costs a lot of money, you know, when you're buying it, and
yeah. Or like you said, it would be like because I have like family lures. They're like sentimental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're antiques or whatever. They're just sentimental.
Yep. Well, I didn't know my grandpa. He died about a year and a half, 2 years after I was born. But it was something my dad gave me that he had of his dad's, you know.
People, I guess I understand theft more than I understand vandalism, because at least with theft you get something. With vandalism, I never understood you get nothing from it. But that aside, I mean, if you want something, just go work, get some money, and go buy the thing. Don't be taking it from other people that had to earn it, or I just don't understand. I don't understand the mentality, how they think that's good, or how you could justify it.
Me and my husband were at AT&T yesterday, and because Gary Samsung took a crap, and so we were at AT&T, and there was these people in there, and the woman has this huge mole, like right, really huge right next to her nose, you know. Which, whatever. This is not making fun of somebody with a mole.
No, but is it like, it's not melanoma or something, is it?
I don't know. Anyways, so she's got this huge mole. She's a customer. Well, all of a sudden they leave, and the guy's like, did you notice them by any of the phones? And I says, no. He goes, oh, okay, because she's a thief. They're all thieves. They steal the SIM cards out of the phones, and then they use them for a day until we figure it out and burn them so that they can get free cell phone service for a day. I'm like, for a day? You go through all that for a day? Yeah. And then I told my husband, oh, shit, the truck's wide open with the windows down, and our tablets are sitting right on the front seat. I said, get out there.
Oh, shit.
The reason why I talked about the mole was because the guy's like, yeah, and why would you steal when you have a big mole like that so people can remember you by it? That was what the mole had to do with the story.
He's probably paying for doctor's appointments with the SIM card money. But anyway, the reason I worry, because we leave our keys in our car, so when people go in and they would go in and steal our stuff, they might lock the doors on the way out, and I get the doors are locked and my keys are in it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my fear.
It's going to cost me more than the window to get in.
Yeah.
So I almost got one of those big tablets, those Samsung Galaxy Views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But AT&T was out of them. They have them at Best Buy. So we ran up to Best Buy because the guy at AT&T said that you can use it on your. I could take the SIM card out of my little tablet and put it in the big tablet, you know.
Cool.
And anyways, and then I got like a Bluetooth keyboard for it, you know, so that'd be cool. Anyways, so I went up to Best Buy to get the tablet, and those ones you can't use a SIM card in. Only the ones sold by AT&T can use the one. It has the SIM card capability.
Huh.
Must have been some deal between AT&T and Samsung. And so all the AT&Ts up here are out of them, and they don't know if they're getting them back. So, guess I'm just asked to whale. Unless I order it online, I suppose.
Is Nikki still on?
She's down by the river.
Hey, Nikki, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, when I had a job managing a store in a retail store in a mall down in Beaver Dam, which is closer to southern Wisconsin. It's more urban. Anyway, I had a girl working for me. She had the side window of her car broken so that they get at her purse, and she had like $6 in it. So up to that point, I religiously locked the doors on my truck and took the keys out, just like everybody told me, make sure that you secure your vehicle because you'll get robbed out there. But after that, I'm like, well, hell with this. I took everything out of my truck. It was a 1980 standard cab Chevy. I took everything out. There was nothing but cigarette butts in the ashtray. So and then those Chevys would have had a common problem with the glove box. It would like come out too far and stuff would fall out of the glove box. And they did with mine. So I knew like about once every 3 days, I go out to the truck and the glove box would be open because they didn't know you had to push something in to make it go back upright. And my owner's manual would be laying on the floor. So I knew somebody was in the truck, but I always left it unlocked because I didn't want somebody to break the window, but I never left anything in the vehicle of any value. And of course, there I did take my keys out. It's just funny. There's so much.
I had the radio stolen out of my Miata 4 times because you don't lock a convertible because they'll just cut the top open.
Yeah.
And so I stopped with the radio in it then.
And my mother-in-law, she used to sit there and say, why don't you ever lock your car door? Well, one time during a really bad snowstorm in Duluth, a bunch of people couldn't go any further on the interstate there in Duluth. And their cars were all parked alongside the interstate. Next morning when they came back to get their cars, all the windows were broke out. So I figure if they're going to steal something, they're going to steal it whether I want them to or not. But at least, hopefully, they'll just open the door and go in, and then I don't have to replace the thing plus a window. At least I just have to replace the one thing they stole,
My Chevy pickup truck had the factory AM radio in it, so it really wasn't an issue. Nobody was stealing that.
Yeah. And I don't usually leave anything in the vehicles that I care about anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought that they'll cut the convertible top. That would suck.
Yeah, I had a Jeep where they freaking cut the top. I was like, you couldn't have just fucking unzipped it? It was right next to the fucking zipper.
I know.
Oh my
bastards.
What is wrong with people messing with another person's automobile? That is the best.
That just angers me. What gives somebody the right to think that they have the right to touch your stuff, put their hands on your stuff? But the thing is some of these thieves, they think it's owed to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like my sister-in-law, one time, she didn't steal, but she borrowed money. She had that attitude. She borrowed money from from Gary's grandpa. And when he asked for it back, she got into a fight with him, and she's like, you don't need it. You've got plenty of money. And it's like, that's not even the point.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was mad at him for years because he asked her for it. It's like, it's his money. She's like, well, he doesn't need it. I don't know why he's got to be that way.
He's it's like a real. I don't even. I know she's the waitress from Friendship House. She used to work at Ellie.
The way people think sometimes.
Yeah. I felt that way about the guy who stole every girlfriend or wife I ever had. Why can't that guy just keep his eyes on his own papers?
Hey Nikki, I got a crisp $20 bill if you just jump in that lake right now.
I don't know. I don't know about this river. It's a muddy water, so can't see the bottom of it.
It looks like hot in there. Chocolate from here.
I would jump in any body of water around here except for like the bay, because then I'd probably die from the undertow.
Oh no,
But-
Nikki! I think I see some toilet paper floating down the river.
Everybody parties right here, so I'm afraid that there might be glass in there.
What you
I think
can't
I
see is
iced
you
fish
look a
on
little
that lake.
further down, and there's like a nuclear power plant.
We don't have any nuclear power plants.
When I was a kid, I grew up on a river. We had a waste treatment plant about a mile up the river, and every time we had a heavy rain, it would overflow the sides. And yeah, it's literally, you would have toilet paper floating down the river, and you just couldn't see the other stuff.
Hey, I survived childhood swimming in the St. Louis River. I can swim anywhere. I don't have two heads from that.
And you still have your skin. That's awesome.
I do. And if anybody up here knows that you don't swim in the St. Louis River.
Yeah, Louis River's up there. There's a St. Louis River up there.
Oh. You notice he didn't say he would give you the 20. He was just saying, I had a $20 Chris bill.
Yeah. I saw that.
I wasn't going to volunteer unless something happened.
I do have my swimming trunks on, though. I could. Summertime, I'm always ready to go swimming. I love swimming.
Yeah, that water does look brown.
Yeah, it is. It's so muddy. The muddy river.
We took our a couple weeks ago. So we pull up there. There's a public swimming beach. He wants to go swimming at. So we pull up in there. He's got his life jacket on because he's riding on the tube. I'm like, well, just jump off. It's over your head, but you got the life jacket on. So he jumps off. But it has like that cabbage weed where he jumped off. You know what I mean? And some of it touched him. So he starts screaming and head back. I'm like, just settle down. You got a life jacket. He's no, something's touching me.
Yeah, people are looking at
freaking
us
out
like
about
we
these
got
stupid
drowning kids.
cabbage weeds.
Now, there's a lot of homeless people that live in these woods, and a lot of people come down here and party. So yeah, you never know what's in the banks of this river. There'll be a lot of glass bottles down there.
When I was a kid, we had a cabin right by the Wisconsin River over here, and there was a guy that used to party down there, and they had a rope swing, and he gets on the rope swing, he goes, all right, goodbye, jumps into the river, and that's it. They never see him again. He drowned right there. Didn't come back up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just ironic to say goodbye before he swung in on it.
Wow. Well, I didn't want to. The reason why I'm driving my husband's truck is because everything was in here. I was like, I'm gonna go fishing in the morning, and my husband's like, well, just leave everything in the truck and take the truck. And so I've got the beer too. Got the beer cooler.
There you go. You can start your own party.
Yeah.
You'll be down there partying with homeless people.
My husband will have to get a ride from one of his buddies over here.
Nikki's all drunk on the river shore with the homeless guys.
Yeah, I better not say I got beer too loud.
Yeah, you're very careful.
I think I'm going to hang it up pretty soon. It's pretty warm out now. Oh, I don't like to bite in the heat too much.
Yeah.
If you go over to the bay where it's really deep, then you can catch some, but because it's colder. Plus, I'm not fishing in my normal spot either.
What the hell's my label? Somebody had a good point a minute ago, and I meant to read it, and I don't remember who it was. Hold on, scrolling. Grandma Jack Silverhair. Kick. Oh, it was Jill. Jill Olson. She said she had heard that if you respond to your feedback, if you respond to the feedback, like I was going to put a response to that, and kill them with kindness, then eBay can't remove it then. Is that true or not? Has anybody else heard that?
I don't think so. I don't know. I've had feedback removed that I've responded to.
Okay. I'm just going to leave it for right now. I'm going to call.
I don't respond though anymore. Oh, I just pinched myself with my tool again. I don't usually respond because then you look like a douche,
Well, I think it depends. I don't know. It's like Jim was saying a minute ago. He does respond on stuff. I think that most of the time, most sellers just end up looking argumentative.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't know how to properly diffuse situations.
Yeah, and Jim's standard response is, please contact us if you have a problem with your item, I think.
Right, which is good. Which is a good response, but I think there's a lot of people out there.
This is the standard response. If you have a problem with your item, please contact us so we can help. And then that's it. And then he blocks their ass.
Yeah.
And
that's a good response.
It's like, even if you say thanks, have a nice day, you come off as like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get some work done now.
Oh, there you go.
Work? The hell's that?
Hey, Brandon, come here once. Come here, Brandon. Come here. Come here. Just come here. Come here. Come here. No, just come here. You're fine. Don't knock that over. You're a boy. Come here. Come here.
Hey, Brandon.
Don't scream, you nut. I'm not. No. There you go. Now we got two shirtless Brandons. Oh my God! You think I abused a child or something?
And put a grenade in somebody's pocket and fall forward.
Oh, okay. You were paused. You're fine.
Cocktail?
Are we still live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't take off your top just yet.
Yeah. That would be scary. And my daughter yesterday, she's like, I can't believe you put your worms next to the bratwurst. I'm like, they're in a covered container. They're fine. Oh my God, I'm not going to eat any of those bratwurst. I'm like, the bratwurst are in a sealed package, and so are the worms. I'm going to contaminate each other. Well, don't eat them. They're more for me then.
That's okay, Megan. It's still going. She says, craziness going on here. I missed the whole show. That's what Megan Carl said. I said, it's okay. It's okay. It's still going.
There's still enough crazy for you to see.
Oh, yeah. We're just working, Megan.
Except for me. I'm fishing.
Yeah, and Nikki's fishing. She's a lucky one today. I'm trying to figure out, because I got a new phone, and I'm trying to figure out how to get my cha-ching, because it's not working.
Oh. It just comes with the app.
Yeah, I might have to re-download.
Oh, I just got bit by a fly. Oh. Ouch. Bastard. The flies are going to start biting. The flies don't start biting until August.
No, they're bad here. And we did some fireworks last night. I mean, the mosquitoes are just about carry you away. And like by me, I'm getting the deer flies, horse flies are coming out.
Carry you away? What are they, flying monkeys?
Yeah.
They're bad. Yes.
There's just so many
of them. Those shows in Alaska where they try to like talk to people and they're like this all the time. That's what it's like living.
Yeah. Mosquitoes haven't really been that bad here.
Oh man, they're really bad here, but we've had a lot of rain, so there's a lot of standing water like in ditch lines and stuff like that. So I think that's why we're having a bad hatch.
Well, that's why I'm surprised that we're not, because we've had a lot of rain too and a lot of standing water. But yeah, for as much rain as we've had, we really haven't had the mosquitoes terrible like they usually are. I don't know.
Well, I'll bring some up by you because I can tell you they're bad here.
No, that's all right. Maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't usually wait to get bit anyways. I spray myself right away. So.
Oh yeah,
and it pisses me off when I get bit.
And like here, I mean, because they'll come out. It's sundown's like around 9:30. I mean, they come out like right when it starts getting dark because we got a lot of dragonflies. So right around 9, the dragonflies quit and the mosquitoes really come out.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of dragonflies too.
What the hell's that for?
The neighbor lady.
What neighbor lady?
The lady whose horse you saved.
Oh my God, that vet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah, she comes out. She opens up the door and she's wearing her like vet clothes, and I'm like, oh, this is some county problem. Oh, I'm so ready for it. And I'm out there all mad at my phone because I can't get no signal. Well, I'm already in a mad mood. I'm already.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, oh, if you're from the county, this is not a good day.
Anyway. God, that happened like what, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, she said, oh yeah, it's long overdue. I'm like, well, not necessary. It was easy. No big deal.
Oh.
So she's
That's good.
Yeah, get out in the barn.
I'm like, you never buy me flowers, so what the hell did you do?
Well, I'm not sure she bought. Those look like they might have been cut out of her backyard, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out in the arena where I go pick parts every single day, and I'm getting like no cell reception. I have to come in my house for the cell phone to pick up the. I don't know what's going on with the cell signal. It's making me angry.
Probably have a tower down.
Something. Well, they better get it up.
Yeah. That's what she said.
You better get up and make this work. I got stuff to ship. The best line though is Sally still with? Oh yeah, there's Sally. Hey, Jack Smack, you better get on this. You really get on this. I'm like, oh boy. Slow your roll.
Slow your roll. Are we live?
Yes.
Yep. I don't think I dropped any
Oh, Jack, that you better get on this? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And we moved on to another subject too quick. I couldn't get when you first said it. I couldn't get it right away.
He's a protector of the good resellers.
Yeah. He is Apple's prime of reselling.
Yeah, see, whenever I go to, I think,
where?
I don't know, like, I'm trying to go through my notifications because I don't have my cha-ching on my phone. And it won't let me change it. It'll let me put none, but then it still won't, cha-ching whenever I sell something.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Nick. Sally. I got you. You're like my kids. You know, I forget your names. Anyway. Oh, it was your birthday last week? Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get my damn check, Dad.
Oh my God! True story. Yesterday, I'm sitting by the phone, and I don't make a big deal on my birthday, but I'm like thinking to myself, you know, I don't get nothing on Facebook. Nobody from my family, my mom, my brother, none of my kids. Nobody calls me or nothing. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, well, whatever. I'm a big boy. I'll get over it. Nobody's really acknowledging the fact that it's my birthday. My mom had sent me a card, okay, that we got in the mail yesterday. So that put my brain in, oh yeah, it's your birthday mode. Except my birthday's on the 6th, not the 4th.
Yeah.
So it wasn't my birthday. That's why no one was celebrating it, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's just so dumb.
Oh my God, Jim.
But anyway, let's fix your phone. The problem is you need to uninstall the app. You need to uninstall the eBay app and then reinstall it, and it'll fix the problem. Yeah, I had it going for like 3 months. I couldn't get a ka-ching, and it was making me mad. I like to be in a store when I'm sourcing. Ka-ching. Okay, I'm making money. I'm spending money. Cool.
Right.
I heard it from another guy on YouTube. You got to uninstall it, then reinstall it, and that's fine. Your default is what makes a ka-ching is the default setting, but it won't work when it's installed wrong. So when you reinstall it, it'll fix that. That's it. But you gotta uninstall it and then reinstall it.
Okay.
Do your phone for a minute.
Well, on the app on my Windows phone, that never had a cha-ching. I had a Windows phone.
Yeah, I got a track phone. It's I don't know who makes it, Alcatel or something.
Alcatel.
Yeah, that's what it says it is.
Isn't it Alto?
No, it's I don't know. Anyway, but it ka-ching for like the first 4 months I had it, and then I went through a 3-month thing where it wouldn't ka-ching anymore. So then I was on YouTube or something, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, this is how you do it," and I did it, and it worked instantly. As soon as I reinstalled it, it worked great. Man.
Yeah, I had that stupid Windows phone for like 3 years. And I'd be watching YouTube and stuff. Everybody's got this cha-ching, and I'm like, well, how's my cha-ching?
Yeah.
When I first got my Samsung, I got rid of the Windows phone. All of a sudden, I hear a cha-ching. I almost cried. I was like, yay!
Oh, Nikki, see, we could go fishing together. You could clean my fish, and I could fix your phone.
There you go.
Reseller wife swap. We can name the show that.
No, I don't want what. I don't want God. No, folks. I don't want to go that far. But
I could be fishing by yourself.
What do they call this show? Thrifting? No, what do they call?
Well, Sally's the upside down picker because this is Sally's show now. I think Valerie calls it like the daily hustle.
Well, either one that worked, the daily hustle wife swap or the upside down picker wife swap. Yeah, you get a lot of views, but I don't think it wouldn't work out. I can't afford to split my stuff in half again. Yeah, Tara just told me all my stuff's her stuff anyway, so I would have nothing. All right, I gotta go ship my other 20 things. Ugh. Oh, I gotta go back out.
Will you get out of my? I just wanted to do some
Well, you're
listing.
warm.
I know it's hot over here.
You're hot over here.
Stop it.
It's getting out in here.
When my husband says it's hot here, I'm like, that's because I'm here.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like, yeah, right. I do like your hair, Sally.
Thank you. It's kind of messed up right now, but
Looks all trendy.
Tex Max says, Alcatel, LOL, the prison system training phone operators. Surf Daddy, who's drinking for lunch? Not this guy. I could crack open. I got Red's apple ale and some beer in the bag. And Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Megan said your hair is cute, Sally.
oh, thank you, Megan.
I almost called you Molly.
Where did that shit come from?
I have no clue. I don't even know a Molly. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm not taking any fish home. I'm kind of glad fishing and picking ain't here today because I'd probably disappoint them. Just today, though. Probably go get my husband some lunch.
Snoopy, quit it.
That's dumb. I had the stupid thing installed, and I took it out, and now it tells me that I don't have enough room for it. It's like, well, how did I have it on there? I didn't have enough room. Stupid.
That was funny. I just told you guys, oh, I should go get my husband lunch. You calling just as I said that.
I read your mind.
I guess. That's 24 years of marriage. Suppose I should put this on mute. The diesel probably might be too loud.
I'll have to change default storage location from internal storage to SD card, probably. Probably. I just deleted all my pictures. Let's see if it'll work now for some reason. Yep. It says it's installing. Let's see.
I told you I'd get a box. Come on. Come on.
Snoopy.
You know, Tara, speaking of cleaning fish, my daughter, she's a deer, she likes deer hunting.
Yeah.
And my husband told her, you know, if you can't clean deer, you don't go hunting, you know. And she was all over it. She was like, yeah, no problem, I can do that, you know. Well, here she ended up allergic to deer fur. So she can't even, all she can do is shoot them. She can't even drag them back. She can't even get close to them. My husband has to drag them back and clean them. I said, boy, you lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's highly allergic to them.
That's funny.
And then when she tells people that she's allergic to deer fur, they're like, how do you even know that?
Yeah.
I don't deer. There's probably a lot of people out there allergic to deer fur, but unless you're a hunter, you don't get close enough to deer to know.
I don't deer. I would have did it if I would have got into it like at a young age. And then my uncle tried to get me into it when I was like 20, and I don't really eat meat. And I'm like, nah, I don't really have to. You know what I mean? And I've helped butcher deer, but I've never actually had a gut of deer.
Yeah. Be right back.
My funny story, kind of sick though. My husband, I had a friend that was on the road commission, And he told me when they had a deer that wasn't completely demolished, you know,
Yeah.
if something got hit close to where I was, he would let me know and we'd go pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, we did it once because me and my husband and my son went out and we got it and then brought it back to the house, put it in the garage, strung it up, and my husband was gutting it and it was pregnant.
Oh, gross.
And there was a deer the size of our dog Prancer.
Yeah.
That came out, and I think it scarred my husband for life. He was just like, "Oh my god, that is so disgusting." Yeah, it was not nice.
I'll tell you a gross story. Not quite as gross as yours, but anyway, we have where I live, like you. There's a lot of hunting around here, and the 40 to the north of us have people that hunt it. Jim doesn't hunt my land, but because of the horses and stuff, but they hunt to the north of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the dogs will find gut piles or, you know, deer parts and bring them home. It's just kind of part of life. Anyway, so my lab comes home and she's got something in her mouth. I'm like, what in the hell is that? It's like all jiggly and stuff. It looks funny. I'm like, what is that? What is that? No, I don't want her to eat it, so I get it away from her. And I have like these forks you pick horse poop up with, so I pick it up with that because I'm not going to touch it. They must have shot a doe that had a milk bag yet going into a milking story. It's the udder with the milk in it that they had cut off when they gutted it. And here my dog brought it. It was so gross.
Oh my god.
Probably too much. Anyway.
Still intact.
It off. It looked like a triangle of flesh, but it's I suppose because I think when you gut them, you start there at their hind legs and go up. So they must have cut the milk bag off when they were gutting it. I don't know.
Wow.
Why did that deer have a milk bag?
Because they shot a mommy deer.
Oh. I thought it was a boy deer.
No, you send mommies too.
Yeah, Megan says that they were riding motorcycles and one of the guys had a deer. We got back to the bike shop, went to dress it out, and it had twins in it.
Yeah. Well, I will say, if you're gonna get one that's hit by a car, you got to get it right away. And the other thing is, a lot of times you got to cut a lot of that meat off because you have all that hydro shock from when they get hit by the car. You know, you have a lot of meat that's just not usable because it's all bruised up and bloody and stuff.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna break for lunch.
Eat up, Jason.
Hey.
I almost flipped you off. I don't know why. I went to go like this. Whoops.
Wow, your hair really is short, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I wish I could get away with a short haircut. Of course, I have it up all the time, so I guess I could probably get away with a short haircut.
Super short in the back. Well, okay, I got it back up. So somebody buy something from me so that I can see if it works. Beth said that she loves longer shows. It's fine with me to have a longer show as long as I am awake. Tonight I have to work, but so tomorrow it will probably be done at 11. But who knows? Just depends on how long I want to stay up and work, and I don't mind staying on here live as long as, you know, as long as I have somebody to talk to, or, you know, it might be a little bit of dead air here and there. It's not, you know, we're not having like, you know, super serious conversations unless something comes up.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, we're working and stuff, and I don't mind staying on here working, and I'll take my breaks when I need them. I'm listing clothes today.
Me too.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'm
I'm
hungry,
doing clothes
Nikki.
right now too, but I'm almost done.
Oh, really? What kind of clothes?
Bag sale up here, so I got like some Moose Racing jerseys. They do okay. Some of those Under Armour shirts, they're called Under Armour Loose. They're like Notre Dame shirts. Some other graphic tees. Bahama. Just the stuff I had in the living room in the bag. I'm like, not that I'm like excited to list clothes, but I'm like, I gotta get that out of here. So
yeah.
Go. So I'm like, I'm gonna get it listed.
Hi, Valerie. Valerie's still on here.
Hi, Valerie.
Hey, Valerie.
We miss you.
Yeah. I really, really do.
Has she been on here the whole time?
I'm not sure. I just seen her pop up, telling me to go to my settings and stuff. I already tried that. It wouldn't give me the option to change it.
Did you say it's a new cell phone?
Yeah.
Did you say it's a new cell phone?
Yeah. Yeah, and it wouldn't give me the option to go to you know, like to not have a ringtone for the settings.
Yeah.
It wouldn't give me that option. It would just say I could have none, or it had like a whole bunch of different, you know, sounds that I could have. And it wasn't, you know, giving me any real options like for the cha-ching. And I thought, well, maybe. Huh?
Is it an Android-based cell phone?
Yeah, it's Android.
Should work then, I would think.
Yeah, and the other notifications were set to default, which that's what I was trying to find because I figured that's probably the cha-ching.
Yeah.
But this one for some reason was set to something else, some other actual ringtone type thing, and get it off of there. So hopefully this will fix it. I took the app off and then re-downloaded it, so I'll have to see if it works. But somebody needs to buy something from me or pay for something.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and Okay.
What are you doing today, Dusty?
I've got 2 packages that need to go to FedEx. And I've got some errands to run. And it's raining for like the 18th day in a row. And I need to go on listing, but I don't really know where I want to start on the piles. So I'm just
Well, you know how to do that.
staring at them. Well, I got rid of some stuff that was kind of a millstone around my neck to another reseller. I'll just leave it at that. Worked out a deal, and that actually helped me a lot.
Right.
It was something I should have never bought that I was really not wanting to do.
Yeah.
Just it was big stuff. Don't really have the space. Didn't
Was
really
that me?
take pictures. But
It was me. Yay, I got my jig back. Wait a second here.
now on the iPhone, when you lose your cha-chinger, I just go into the settings in the eBay app and turn notifications off and turn it right back on. It fixes it. The bearded one. The bearded one.
And hers, I'm assuming yours is Android, Sally. You got Android software
for that jacket.
It's Valerie, I think, to see if my cha-chinger works.
Oh,
she's buy something from you.
No, she sent me an offer for $1 for a jacket. I'm like, what? What the hell is this shit?
If it's Apple, you can turn it off and turn it back on again. But if it's Android, you got to apparently in most cases you got to uninstall it and reinstall it.
Yeah, it worked. That's good.
I sent her an offer.
And I'm not that smart, but I just heard it from somebody else on the internet.
I don't know, it was for somebody else.
I'm not smart, man.
I'm not. Trust me. Believe me when I tell you that.
Hi, Michelle.
Maybe it was. You're welcome, Dusty. Maybe it was the other Jason that told me that.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Whoever gets credit for telling me, just turn the notifications on and off.
Thank you. I think Michelle or.
Was that all she had to do?
Somebody in Ohio. Anyways, maybe it was Eric.
Dad, I got to send a companion. His name is Nick Valentine.
Nick Valentine.
Nick Valentine. That's his stage name.
It was me.
He's playing a Fallout 4.
Thank you, Eric, if that was you.
It was. So it probably would work with sales now too. So.
Yeah, I hope
so. I don't know if y'all talked about this, but I think the post from a couple of days ago in my Facebook group was interesting about just got a message about something I mailed out Saturday. She was happy that it arrived fast, but was disappointed that it smelled of cigarette smoke. We don't smoke, but I noticed one day when my mail carrier was picking up the mail that he was smoking in his vehicle. So my question is, should I put a disclaimer in my listings about items being pre-owned and cannot control smells, or what should I do? I just went ahead and refunded her, considering that it was, and then I remember the rest of the post. It was a really cheap, inexpensive item, and it wasn't worth dealing with.
Right.
But then they go on and on to say, what do you do if your mail carrier smokes in the truck? I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want to piss them off because I like my mail carrier. Stuff's going to get exposed to. You ever notice UPS always has that really funky smell? It's not a smoke smell. It's just a UPS truck smell.
You get exhausted.
I think I would just chalk that up to a. I think I would chalk that up to just, well, you had to give a refund that time. That person probably shouldn't shop on the internet, but I think even if,
pretty much, yeah. They shouldn't be shopping where they can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like certain sensitivities to smells. Maybe you shouldn't shop on the internet if you're going to have that sensitivity.
Yep.
It in the washer. Some people believe that they shouldn't have to if they buy it online. I'm sorry. If I buy something online, I'm going to wash it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially if it goes near my bottom half.
His bottom half.
Right? I mean.
So I was taking a shower a minute ago, and I had the phone going on the counter in there listening to y'all. Were y'all really talking about skin and digger?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Us girls were.
I have a safety message. I was just out picking parts to ship, and I got the radial arm saw going because I'm cutting these little pieces of paneling that I use when I ship a gasket, because these cardboard gaskets can bend in the envelope. So I wrap them to a piece of paneling so that it's a piece of thin wood so they can't be bent. Well, as I'm doing that to save time, I'm running the saw with one hand and I'm using my smartphone to see what next tote I'm going to pull with the other hand. So I'm like, I'm like texting while driving at the same time. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Oh my God.
case you find yourself tempted to text while you're sawing, don't do it.
I'm not.
That's scary.
That's missing.
Well, and I'm shoving the piece of wood into the saw as I'm with my thumb. I'm using my pinky finger to move the wood, and I'm using my thumb to.
Yeah, you
work
such
the saw.
sawing off fingers. That's a deal breaker.
So, I just thought maybe that'd be a good public message. Don't do that.
Kids would be like, "Don't be messing around on those saws now."
Yeah. I used to text while I was driving my scooter. That wasn't easy either.
Yeah, I don't do that at all. That's what killed my wife. So I don't text while driving.
Oh wow, yeah, no, that's not good. And I don't do it anymore.
I hand my phone to Tristan. And she texts stuff for me.
Over and they warn you not to do it, but even if I reach over and punch something into the Garmin, because it's in front of you, I mean, you can still see through the windshield, but just that little bit of angle that you take off the road where you're supposed to be looking to punch that thing, I have found the vehicle will wander.
Oh, really? It will wander. That's with stuff because you're going off the road. So now you're saying the vehicle will wander, and you're like, anyway.
Yep. People just don't realize how much
drive because I don't trust you.
Like if you sneeze while you're driving 60 miles an hour, your car will travel like almost 200 feet in that time it takes you to sneeze and get your eyes back.
Wow.
I was drinking a squirt soda like a couple days ago, and I took a big gulp, big swig, and for some reason it like went down the wrong pipe, and I had it in me, but it's like it wants to go like in my lungs, but I can't make it like swallow. So finally, I'm trying to control the truck. I got the big dually truck. Finally, I just spit it out in my lap and continued to drive because I'm like, I can't work with this anymore. I'm going to pile this rig up if I don't get this thing out of my nose and mouth. It's up in my sinus and stuff. I'm going to have a wet lap. I'm going to deal with it. It's better than a piled up truck.
Okay, first
You
mistake,
aspirated.
squirt soda. That's all we got to say.
It's got that grapefruit.
You aspirated. That's what you did.
Yeah.
You aspirated.
Yeah, I was hacking and coughing for quite a bit after trying to get the stuff out of me, where it went down the wrong hole.
Yes, Jim, you're getting old when you forget how to swallow.
Yeah.
There's been people that have died, like, because they aspirated, like, in a pool, and they've died because they were fine, like, right after, but then later on that stuff went in, got down into their lungs, and it kills them. But a little amount like that, but talking about like aspirating a big amount into their lungs, and then they'll be fine, and then later on they die.
Yeah.
So like anybody that
like develop pneumonia.
Well, yeah, but it's like quick.
Yeah.
It's like quick, and but that's why, like, if a kid like chokes on water or something, they say to take them to the emergency room just to get them checked out, just in case, because they could have aspirated, and then later on they might die depending on how much they sucked in.
Ugh. Yeah. Anyway. I don't even know how I brought that up about the soda, but
it's your fault.
Sorry, but you get under my feet.
Oh, you're gonna pack those?
You want me to do the little part?
Oh, that would be Smurfy. I'll go on to the big stuff. So don't text while sawing, and don't drink squirt.
I gotta go to Tractor Supply today.
Right.
Are those horses in the round? Is that horse in the round pen yet? Or did he break out?
I'll go check. How could I know that?
Did you remember to?
With the technology today, I don't know why anybody has to text while they're driving. You can use your voice.
Yeah.
On Android phones we have Google, and on iPhones they have Siri.
I refuse to text.
What I was doing was actually going through my eBay app. I was going through the picture of the next part I have to pick, so I have to actually visualize. I have to visually see the picture. So, but I'll just wait till I'm done sawing next time.
Yeah, my Google, it'll read it to me and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, hubby's fed.
Did you go sourcing yet, Valerie?
Why are you screaming at her?
Because
So she can hear her.
she needs to hear me. She's way far away too. That's another reason. She's all the way in California and I'm in Michigan.
Not only are they in there, the grass looks beautiful.
Tiffany C asked, is there a way to mail something online for the same rates as eBay shipping charges if I'm to print out my own label? You won't get, depending on what you get with eBay, because some people get commercial base and some people get commercial plus, depending on if you're a top rated seller and all that kind of crap. You'll still get the online-ish rates, but you can go to paypal.com/ship now. You can go that route. She said, but the person did not buy it. I am shipping something to a buyer that went wrong on my own dime. Go back into the same transaction, just print another label. Click the drop down and print another label.
Yeah, that's what I do with it.
And then you will get all those wonderful discounts.
What are you looking for?
I got it. I know what it is.
Excuse me.
Oh my gosh, it's so.
We still two at the same part?
Yeah.
I guess so, but two different guys.
Two different guys. Nice butane lighter. They're gonna be in the tube cabinet, or?
No, I think they're next to the tube cabinet by the bookshelf. There's going to be a cardboard flat that's got lighters in it. I think it's one of those.
The Maji, you know, off the top of your head?
Yeah, it's over there.
Like sandstone color.
Yeah, I think it's over there by the workbench. You know, okay, there's like a tote right down there on the ground, on the floor. I think it's right there.
Yeah, I know. I see that. I just couldn't place it.
I can't read it from here, honey. My eyes aren't that good.
Find a
Huh?
find a reunion.
Oh, find a way into Fort Hagen?
Take this.
Did you bring in the hydroflow filter or no?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, here, give it to me.
You got the rest of the parcel?
Yeah, I just didn't see that one. Can you hear that tape over there? You know the foot. Well, I guess you're not that far.
What?
No, don't worry about it.
About phone signal?
No.
Yeah, I got nothing. I mean, even on cell phone signal, it's like
Sorry,
one
there,
bar.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they must have, like Nikki said, there must be a tower down.
You know, last year, because we had a lot of people up here, AT&T service was real bad, but we should be going home by now.
They're like hemorrhoids. If they come up and go back down, it's okay. But if they come up and stay up, well, that's a problem.
You can weigh this since you're standing over there. We'll just weigh that right there.
Ooh.
I think it'll go. No, he's right.
The heck of a responsibility. Being always right.
It is.
Although it's knowing everything. Knowing everything, the hell of a responsibility. You don't realize how hard it is.
All right, I'm gonna shut it down, guys. I'm take a little break. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Bye. That's the first